Welcome to the channel of PirateTalk414. Show us this loyalty. Throw yourself onto the subscribe button and submit yourself to the live streams, gaming streams, and so much more. Pathetic earthlings, I command you.
Pop Talk is where it's at, baby.
Warning, due to adult language and humor, the following content may not be suitable for any viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following live stream or video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you.
Especially
Baron Orman Tagge, Cash Money 007, Pacific 414 are here to bring you all the pop culture and entertainment news, rumor, opinion, discussion, watch parties, reviews, reactions on Pacific 414 Pop Talk.
You never know when pirates get to stab other pirates in the back
Welcome, one
there.
and all.
Mike's getting a little frisky out there.
He is, and he just wants to be a pirate on stream. That's his plan.
Arr, he's in the dinghy. And welcome, one and all. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It depends on where you are or when you are watching this show. Welcome to Pirate Talk 414. Aye, that's right. That's right.
All right.
Pacific is in his dinghy. He suffered the curse of the blue screen. So,
Seems about right. Yeah, Unfortunately.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But so it's going to be Cash, the Bloom, and me.
Mm-hmm.
And joining us is Mr. Backup Plan himself, Woopah Troopah.
That's right.
Hello,
Mm-hmm.
it's me. They asked I think they asked 15 other YouTubers and everyone said no. So they're like, I guess we'll ask Woopah.
How did you know? Did you tell him, Cash? Huh?
I did not.
So I just want to sit back and also wish to welcome people who've already joined into the chat. Well, the captain in his little dinghy, the blue screen, his little dinghy there, Pacific 414, Mike himself, Jace from 540 Studios is here,
Yes.
as well as the Padawannabe, the angry Canadian, and gamer Jay. I'm assuming that's we. Welcome. And I think he's new.
Oh, hey.
What's up, gamer?
Yeah.
And of course, let's not forget about our favorite troll who hates us all.
Is he out there? I didn't see him. Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Oh, just
there
on
he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what? Guess what? What we were talking about earlier there. We're going to use it right now.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Mr. McCracken, arr.
Yes.
Lurking in the waters.
Always.
Okay. And how was your days going today? Gents?
It'll be nice when the refrigerator's fixed. So.
What, your refrigerator went out?
Yeah, I haven't told many people, but I really haven't. It's a bit aggravating. Well, more than a bit, but they're supposed to get the part tomorrow, so hopefully they'll put in the fan and everything will be fixed.
I know what you're talking about there. I lost 2 refrigerators in the old house, and then we had to get one of these little ones because we had to wait. I don't know how many months because, of course, the coof.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, the Koofadoof.
Yeah, I don't want to say words that will get. Oh, maybe I do want to say words that will get Mike Shadow banned. This is our
I don't
chance.
know. This is our chance. Oh boy.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
But we do.
Yeah, Doc Pop's gonna come out of nowhere.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that could be Pacific 414. It's going to be Doc Pop, and it's going to
Doc
be.
Pop, and we got to do the quotes.
Yeah, yeah. $1 million. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So let's see how we can sail the mighty Pacific, the USS Pacific NCC 414 in calm waters. I doubt it'll be calm very much.
But yeah, what's going on with you today, Woopah? How's your day been?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I got to trick my boss into letting me go early. Make up
Nice.
excuses so I could show up on time.
He doesn't watch the show though, right? He doesn't know about the show, or
I don't think so. I don't want to tell him just because I know I have at least one coworker who actually likes The Last Jedi. He's a lost cause.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, if he does, what are you gonna do? Just tell him to at least watch Empire.
And Kathy Skywalker, welcome, by the way. So sorry. Yeah.
I don't know, Kathy. We're trying to keep him in the cage, but he just keeps breaking out. We don't know why. Yeah, we feed him, but
I know you never know with the McCracken out there. And I'm excited because I finally got 2 screens, so I shouldn't screw up as much. As much. And
hello. Yep.
Looks like we got Paul Kersey here from Death Wish. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Charlie Bronson. There you go. Great to have the late great Charlie Bronson with us today. Now we do have some. Yeah. You know what? We should do a watch. Find out who has it. Do a watch party of Death Wish. Jeff Goldblum actually has a small part. I don't even know if he's even credited, but he's one of the thugs that broke into the house and did nasty things that caused Charlie Bronson to go ape.
Nice.
Oh, she doesn't make herself for. Oh, come. Tuna hot dish. There you go. Have tuna hot dish.
Seriously.
I do like it. And we have also joining us in the chat. Just want to say hi to. Whoops, that thing moves too dang
wrong
fast.
one.
There we go. Where are you? There we are. And Giggles and Bits. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, Giggles and Bits.
Is that kind of like Kibbles and Bits? Like I feed my dog?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't even know if they got that around. But we do have some great articles up here. And barring anything else of smart aleck comments, is between ourselves. We can take a look at this first one here.
We've got plenty of smart aleck comments to make it through the stream. We can't use them up all at once. I mean,
well, exactly. What we can do is read the articles because I'm sure some of these articles we're going to have. We're going to need to talk about. But this first one, Mike specifically, you see what I did there? Wanted to talk about. Actually, we got this one from Master Paul himself in our super secret lair, and it's about YouTube's new streaming focused partner program, and it's taking aim at Twitch. Now, this article is Dylan Horeski is the person who wrote this, and it is dated the 13th, so just the other day. So we'll take a look here. Isn't that nice? Little phone there. Yeah, don't bite me. YouTube has just launched a new partner program level that makes it easier for streamers to get monetized on the platform, taking an aim at Twitch's affiliate program. YouTube streaming has grown in popularity over the last couple of years, largely thanks to some of the internet's biggest creators moving to the Google-owned platform. And that's the big problem there, folks, but I'll try to keep some of my opinions myself. In order to become monetized on the platform, YouTube streamers must work towards the goal required to join the YouTube Partner Program. Boy, that sounds good. Okay, so as of June 13th, 2023, however, those focusing on just the live aspect of the site are going to have an easier time meeting those requirements. And this looks like this is from a tweet, Hapa Pro, on Twitter, and it's talking to creators. YPP is expanding with earlier access to super chats, super thanks, channel memberships, select shopping features, and more at the eligibility requirements. Now join with fewer subs, watch hours, and short views to help you start earning even sooner. Okay, and of course, then they're having the little thing to apply the differences between the two there. So YouTube reveals new partner program. In a new blog, YouTube revealed the new level of its partner program that gives streamers easier access to monetize the site. And do you guys want to sign up for the newsletter? Should we sign up there? What's Mike's email? We can send it to him. Should we do that, Mike? You want to be on the newsletter? We can get that going for you. That way,
I think he definitely wants to.
Yeah, that way he has access to a lot more. So I'll take care of that in a little bit. There are requirements for the new streaming focused YouTube partner program, 500 subscribers, which Mike is getting damn close to. We have 3 valid public uploads. We have 3,000 valid public watch hours in the last year, or 3 million valid public short views in the last 90 days. I'm assuming 3M means 3 million. I don't know. That sounds a lot. Those that meet these requirements will unlock the following features: channel memberships, super chats, super stickers, super thanks, and promote your own products with YouTube shopping. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, Mike can get those t-shirts out there. Once you want to wear a Pacific 414 t-shirt, or even better, a Pirate 414. Arr. That should be the best one.
Do you think we'll get in copyright trouble if we try to sell an Arnold t-shirt?
Well, I mean, with Arnold, you might, because I'm sure he's got himself. Well, I don't know. That'd be.
Come on.
How about Mike? How about Mike as Arnold?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike is Arnold. Okay.
Yeah, have him like the Terminator or Conan. You can go out there and hear the lamentation of the women.
What's up, Angry? Yeah, but I agree with Crit on this. There's going to be stipulations. Is that we're still not going to make, people are still not making much money, even if you've got to get those super chats and stuff. And remember, of course, YouTube takes 30%. So, yeah.
Right. And I think with that too is you don't get, what is it? Some people can get a little bit of a cashola from when they do their commercials, YouTube itself. For those that, I think this one you do not get access to that.
Yeah.
So this is no ads. It's pretty much just if you do it, you get the live streaming perks, which I mean, it's probably not going to be much for any of the smaller guys, but hey, it's more than a swift kick in the ass. So,
well, yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think in some ways it is good, but like Cash said, and so did Crit. What is the little loopholes in these things? What they can come back and get you with? Because this is Google after all. They're not. They are not very kind. But I mean, right there. I mean, I suppose they're wanting to really get people who are doing live streaming. Really notice more here because, well, look at Twitch. I mean, not Twitch. It's like Twitter. Twitter has, of course, Tucker Carlson and other people now going in there. It's going to bring in big views.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know how things are on Twitch with live streaming. I don't know. I'm very ignorant.
So
yeah.
A lot of stuff just happened, essentially. I don't know all of it. I think someone was explaining to me. But I think they were changing a lot of how you did like ads. I think a lot of people in the past have done on, you have the ads that play on your channel, and then you also have like, hey, I'm sponsored by such and such person, and I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna put their logo on my screen, and you can use this code or whatever. And they have to say their name a certain amount of times, whatever. And now I think Twitch is kind of messing with that. On top of before, if you got partnered, basically if the Twitch partner, like a YouTube partnership, part of their thing was, hey, if you're partnered with Twitch, you have to wait. I don't know if it was 24 or 48 hours before posting that anywhere else. Because a lot of people, they'll stream on Twitch and then post the clips on YouTube.
Right.
And they can still do that, but they have to wait 24 hours or something like that for it to be Twitch exclusive. So they can't just either dual upload. You can't stream on two places at once if you're a Twitch partner. And you have to wait a while before you're making clips. So, but now that was only if you're a partner. Now, apparently they're saying if you stream on which I don't see how they can do that, but I think it's going to hurt a lot of smaller guys. They're saying you can't double stream at all.
Right.
Like they're saying you can only stream on Twitch. If you're streaming on Twitch, you can't do it elsewhere, which seems foolish to me, but
right. Because a lot of people are now doing dual streams on various other platforms. I mean, you have people doing it on live stream here, then doing it on Rumble at the same time, and doing it on another service. So they're doing like triple, quadruple sharing. And if Twitch doesn't allow that, especially if it's a gaming stream, that's going to hurt. I mean, I realize they want people to come to them exclusively, but that's not the world we live in.
This isn't going to hurt. That's not going to encourage people to. I feel like it's going to more push people to say, "Oh, I'll take my chances on just YouTube instead of, I'll only stream on Twitch."
Yeah, Twitch used to be pretty cool, but
yeah, I heard about how great Twitch was, and all of a sudden I started hearing all these gray clouds coming in about it.
Well, stuff that they feature on there, especially those hot tub streams, which even people on YouTube have made fun of, is just ridiculous. There's no reason for any of that. And if it brings in extra revenue and that's what you want, it feels like you're kind of selling your soul there. Your company is selling your soul.
There's a lot of things with the double standards of, hey, a guy has a wardrobe malfunction, he's banned for life. A girl has a
suspended,
and she gets a 48-hour break, stuff like that. And I know also recently, so YouTube is 70%, as far as I'm aware. I don't think they changed it. Twitch recently changed from 70% to 50%, which got a lot of people mad, understandably.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this? I mean, I can imagine more Mike is out there in the chat. He wants to he wants to ramble on this one. Yeah, I said ramble. But
I'm happy I didn't ever make a Twitch channel. That's all I know.
It was fun, and you can get affiliated. I don't know if they've even made the rules easier, but once you get affiliated, then of course you can start making some money. People can send you the subs, and because it's not the subs like in YouTube, but the subs, and you start making some money, and it's cool. And if people care enough, they'll hit that button, and they enjoy your content or whatever, which is nice. But I don't know. Twitch is Twitch is just Twitch would be fine, but I think Rumble has potential to be. There needs to be more competition. I don't know much about Kick. I've heard a little bit about it, but I think Rumble has potential to really put a dent in YouTube or Twitch, but we'll see.
If it makes the UI more friendly, I guess it seems like it has a chance. It's been doing better promoting non-political things, which is always good, because the problem with a lot of these things was a BitChute. It's like you go on BitChute and it's going to be politics. You're not going to branch out. But
there you go,
Rumble
Cash.
seems to be doing a good job of it. But yeah, I need to start my fund. I need to get this new YouTube partner thing. I got to start a fund. There's a $500. Is it a 6 foot long, 4 foot tall, or no 2 foot? I forget. It's a very large Pokemon plush, Marie giant. So I gotta start a fund for that. You know, it's a lot of people say, "Hey, you know, you give money to me and I'll put it right back to my channel." No, I'm gonna buy a giant sheep. Screw you guys. I'm getting one plushie.
I tell you, kids nowadays. Let's see what this one is. Oh, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Okay. I'm just getting used to all this new excitement I got with this.
Okay, well,
yeah,
Giggles and Bits said that Rumble is a big deal, but Kick is the one to watch. Well, that's fine. I think it's good to have options. So
right. And
if Rumble's good, great. If Kick is good and it seems fair to people, great. You know, I mean, it's a lot of work. Oh no, work. Yes, a channel is a lot of work.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about Odyssey, but I'm noticing people are, you know, just
Odyssey
like Giggles and Bits says, they've been.
Yeah.
And I know Mike has been trying to do, you know, cross-platform stream with Kick, and he's been having issues with that one. So I wonder if that's something kind of in the same area as Twitch. You know, only us.
Yep.
I don't know if he figured that one out yet. So,
jump scare.
Jump scare. What's a jump scare?
I don't know. There's just a really ugly picture on the screen.
Oh yeah, isn't it ugly? We're going to get right into this one here because I think you wanted to talk about it, Woopah, and
yeah,
Cash the Bloom did.
Look at me. So, I come on here one episode. I start demanding things.
Yeah, he only wanted all green M&Ms in the this is absolutely ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, man.
I wanted the peanut M&Ms, but take the M&M out. Or take the peanut out.
And he wanted milk from a virgin cow to go with that. I'm trying to figure out how do you do that. A cow, if the cow is virgin, they don't make milk.
Anyways, I decided to read this article before we started talking about Baron, and it's a lot of word salad. And when I know this one of my friends who likes Leslie Headland, I go, okay, but
yeah,
why? It's
What's
fine.
She been
but
done? Like I haven't heard of her outside of this show.
She did some Netflix
she used to work
show,
for,
but we'll get into that. Yeah, she did some Netflix show.
Yeah, she did something, but now she's doing that acolyte.
She did a lot for Harvey Weinstein's. Ding dong! Right. You heard me, YouTube. That happened. Shut
up. There's one shadow ban strike.
That's right.
Good. I didn't do it, Mike. It was Cash. So
I think we've talked about that on this channel before. It has come up. What do you want from us, YouTube?
Who's the new
you want
YouTube
our blood?
CEO?
Anyways, yeah.
I don't know.
We used to be able to say curse you, Susan, but I don't know who's in charge anymore.
Me. I don't want to be in charge. Can I be in charge?
Well, this is the pirate stream, so yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take over YouTube. Like pirates that we are, sailing the high sea. So we got this story here, which is an actual. It's going to be a big giggle fest here. The Acolyte showrunner.
Oh, hey, it's a good thing Giggles and Bits is here then.
Yeah,
it is, man. Good job, Giggles. You did it, man. You did it.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Oh, yeah. Looks like we have ourselves a 5 o'clock meeting there. 5 o'clock.
Dun, dun.
He's in trouble. So we have the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland points to Star Wars creator George Lucas as an example of the misogyny of the Otia myth. Oh my, what big word she's using. This is, of course, by John F. Trent, bylined 2 days ago. Just Mouse, get off my computer. Just what I need. Mouse. Mr. Mouse is trying to be difficult. The last thing I need to do is have him not.
It sounds like he's not trying. It sounds like he's succeeding.
Yeah, he is. Mouse. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yes.
You're good.
He did something. Something popped up. Okay, there we go. That's it. I'm getting a taser for the cat. So this is
You didn't hear that, YouTube. You heard nothing.
You heard nothing. It's a special
Nothing.
cat teaser.
Yes, it's a robot cat, YouTube. Okay,
Yeah, it's a robot cat. Yeah, it's a droid. So
that's two strikes now, Baron. Anyways.
Yeah, that's 2 strikes. Well, both of us are going to have a meeting. Great. That's what I want to do. Have a meeting. So the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland used Star Wars creator George Lucas as an example of the misogyny of the auteur myth in an on-Earth podcast. Oh, God. Appearing on IndieWire's Filmmaker Toolkit podcast. Holy cow. Headland was asked by the host about a piece she wrote in The Hollywood Reporter where she allegedly challenged the auteur theology. She was asked, is this concept less of a voice or author of more that they do it by themselves? Am I wrong about that? Is that in the sense of it's one thing to have a vision. It's one thing to have an author, but there's an element of how that comes to life. What the hell is that? You're right. Word salad right there. That I lost IQ and brain cells reading that.
I lost brain cells and I only had 2 to start with.
Just get to the point, man. I mean, I don't care who it is. Just get to the point. Jeez.
They can't do that. And I just want to also welcome Mr. Dempsey himself. The drunken
What's up, Dempsey?
He's in the chat. So, okay. So, Leslie Headland. Okay. So, related story. Leslie Headland says the Acolyte tells the story from the perspective of the villains. Another problem that we have with these Hunyucks, but that's beside the point. Headland responded, I think it's also just my experience in the hiring world of being a female writer-director. The number of jobs I have not gotten, infinite, and the amount of work that I have done to get them is enormous. And listen, no one said to my face, we don't think you can do this because you're a girl, but I do think there's an idea of what a director looks like.
The number of jobs that she's gotten, I mean, it was working with Harvey Weinstein. There's a lot of jobs happening there.
I wonder if she got calluses on her knees. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Whoops! You didn't hear anything, YouTube.
YouTube doesn't hear anything. YouTube didn't hear anything either.
All right. Now we're all getting called into the office.
But you're just a guest. I guess it's going to be a while before you're back on the show again. Dempsey, we're doing great, by the way.
Yeah.
Good, Dempsey. Now let's see if we can continue on with. By the way, just to make a point, who directed A League of Their Own?
It was Penny Marshall.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There you had a female director. I don't think she even fought for the part. Of course, she was a sister of the great, Frank Marshall. And she did do directing, I believe, on Laverne and Shirley and started going on that. In fact, that, if I had a chance to interview her, that's what I want to talk about is,
sure.
What was that influence? Who was the person that helped her achieve, how to do the directing and all that? Because, she was getting really busy because she had her book out and people were wanting to talk this stuff. And it's like, I guess I like to go to the different areas like that because, she's a very interesting director. And there's other female directors out there that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, again, can you do the job? Or are you just a pissant?
I mean, a lot of people were like, when Patty Jenkins came, the first time I heard about her was that Wonder Woman movie. I went, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, it all just went to hell.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And then, but she also says like the streaming services are hurting things. She's right. She's right. But just make more sense. But it's hard for a lot of these people to make sense nowadays. They deserve this. They deserve that.
Yeah.
Did you work for it though? Or do you feel you just deserve it? So yeah, it's
well. Look who directs many episodes of The Mandalorian. Ronnie Howard's little daughter.
Yes.
Oh, cute! Oh my word, she's cute. But I mean, she's in there, and she got the job because she knew what she's doing. Because she probably bent her father's ear, and he probably taught her a lot. And she does do a good directing job on there.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of her acting, but her directing is pretty good. Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
And as he says,
that last episode, but whatever. Yeah.
It says, I think people have an idea of what a director looks like. I think most people couldn't name you 5 directors. Like
Alfred Hitchcock.
That's one.
Like I think most people, obviously, I'm pretty slow, so I might not be able to know. But like you guys, you follow movies a lot. I think you ask like the average Star Wars fan, hey, who's some directors do you think of? Well, you're gonna say George Lucas, probably gonna say Steven Spielberg,
right?
Maybe Quentin Tarantino. Like those are the people that like you're like, oh wow, those are the big names. And even Quentin Tarantino, more of a big name because when he's directing something because it's like, what the heck is going on?
Right, let's finish. Well, Orson Welles. Boom. Orson Welles. You got one right there. Cecil B. DeMille.
Spielberg. Let's not
John
forget
Ford.
about Spielberg.
You know what? I'm not even going for those because it's like, let's throw out some directors' names that, just like Woopah was saying, these people in their 10-year bubble of awareness have never heard.
Right.
So, you had John Ford. And John Ford was also another influence on George Lucas out there.
Yep. That's what I had heard. Yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
Look at all the films that he directed. So you get 5. I've gone over 5 of them. Why? Yep. Because I think all 3 of us, maybe Mike, all enjoy various cinemas out there. What is offered with there, and not within that 10-year bubble. We like to go out and see. We watch not Death Wish, but Dirty Harry, which is, my God, a 50-year-old film.
Yep.
I don't want to think about it, but it's 1971. It's like, laugh away.
And that film is brutal, like it should be, because I mean.
And Dempsey puts me to shame because Blake Edwards, what a great director he was.
Yes, he
did.
Yes.
Who's the guy that directed Sharknado? That's who I want to add.
Oh, God.
Isn't that Sharknado? Wasn't that what's his name? Ian Ziering from Beverly Hills 90210.
Shoot!
I think he did direct that, though. Yes.
I think you were right.
Sharknado.
How could we have forgotten Tommy Wiseau, the greatest director ever?
And the great thing about Blake Edwards is he got Julie Andrews to show her Tetons and that's cool. For watch SOB. SOB is one hysterical movie and is a shot to the Hollywood machine. And you have Julie Andrews is in it. Obviously, you have of course. Let's see, I'm trying to remember it. J.R. Ewing. I got a middle block on his name, but J.R. Ewing from Larry Hagman's in that. Right down the line, the Music Man. I hate when I have music, but he's in it too. You have just have a. Yeah, I know. I'm ashamed because I usually have that name on the top of my head because he's so great. But if anybody out there, find the movie S.O.B. and watch it. I know it's an old film, but it's absolutely freaking hysterical. And it's Blake Edwards that is satirical. Those knives were out.
Well, he directed the Pink Panther movies. I can't remember how many he did, but did he? He might have done all of them, or most of them.
I don't think he did all of them, but he did a few. Yeah, definitely the first one. He also did a lot of TV. Some of the great film noir TV shows he was involved in. He also did. I can't remember what the name of the movie was, but they made a big deal about it. It was John Ritter was in it. And they had a scene where they were wearing glow-in-the-dark condoms, and it was at night, and they're having fun. That was shocking. That was really
I'm sure. One of the last things he did before he passed away, he was on stage with I think Jim Carrey, and he was in his wheelchair. He's pretending to be in a wheelchair, and they said, "Oh no, I think you can find that clip. Oh no, he's hurt, guys. We need to check on him." He's just, yeah.
The man had a.
They were honoring him. Man, that must have been what 10 years ago or something, something like that.
Sadly,
you could probably find the clip of Blake Edwards, but he was pretending to be in a wheelchair nowadays. Or no. Not with how Hollywood is nowadays, but award shows, a lot of them used to be fun, and the awards, sure, they can be nice, but the show used to be quite enjoyable. You'd sit down, watch the show. Yeah.
It was supposed to let your hair down, enjoy, have a good laugh. I mean, not quite to the level of roast, but you don't have it here. He's a bald Woopah.
Oh man.
Well, that's why he wears that baseball cap.
Oh, okay.
The
Cardinals cap. Yeah.
Oh, this is red. This is red from the original Pokemon. This red.
Oh, okay. But that's the reason why you don't get on the show much, because of your baseball affiliation.
I definitely believe I had to change my what's the thing called, the headline or whatever, because it was something against the Cubs, and I'm like, I can't do that while Mike isn't here to defend himself,
Well, he's in the chat. He's in the chat. He can defend himself.
Yeah,
go for it.
He's around.
Yeah,
if you say his name 3 times, he'll show up like Candyman and stuff.
Mike. Or should be Pacific 414, Pacific 414, Pacific 414. It's like Beetlejuice.
This is what happens when co-hosts and the main hosts aren't on. People just get ridiculed, unfortunately.
Well, let's continue on with Word Salad Fields here.
Yes.
She continued, and a lot of people will say, no, it's what you do, and the cream rises to the top, and just the best person for the job. And the only reason I disagree with that is particularly because of the Otia myth is so strong that is really what they want to see, is a guy come in there who will do everything himself, who basically can say, I will do all this by myself, and it will be perfect, and you don't need to worry about everything. What the hell does that mean?
What is the point she is trying to make here?
What the hell does that mean?
I just lost my other brain cell. Now I'm all out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, Woopah. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you can send, in lieu of flowers, please send donations to the Lost Pokemon Foundation in memory of Woopah Troopah, who unfortunately just passed away on our show because he lost both of his brain cells.
That's too bad, man.
I know.
Who's going to wear the Woopah costume now? Who knows?
I don't know.
Chris Chan.
No. We cannot have that.
What happens when you say that 3 times? No, we won't go there. So
I'm not going to find that.
Hedlund went on, and it justifies some crazy behavior. It justifies, like, I remember someone telling me about a male showrunner, creator type person and their behavior. And listen, I'm not perfect by any means, but I think if you set yourself up that way, male or female, you are setting yourself up for failure. You are setting yourself up to fail because there's no way to do something like Russian Doll by yourself. There's no way to do something like any of the films that I mentioned in that Hollywood Reporter article. Again, what the hell? She didn't even give an example. Let's go up here. She gave no examples. None. Now, of course, people like us know about some shenanigans. We all know about Alfred Hitchcock wanting to bet all his female leads.
Especially that woman, dude. He was obsessed with her, man.
Janet Leigh.
That was bad. Yeah, that was really bad.
And we knew that he treated actors horribly, except for the ones he really liked, because he only viewed them as tools to get the job done. But what a great director he was.
I was going to say, like, you go to modern day, I think he was right. All these actors are tools.
Yeah. Now they are, yeah.
A lot of them are. I want to believe that a handful of them or more actually are pretty cool to work with.
Good evening. We are here on Pacific 414. We are going to be looking at the terror that Baron Tagge, Cash Money, and Woopah Troopah will be seeing here on Hitchcock's. What was the name of that? Hitchcock? Alfred Hitchcock Theater. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but a great director. I mean, Orson Welles. No, he had, I think any director, anyone's doing the job of a director, has quirks.
Yeah, he went hard after William Randolph Hearst. That's for sure. That whole thing. Oh man,
he did not hold back in that, did he?
Nope, he did not.
I just unpacked. By the way, I just unpacked my Citizen Kane book. I'm gonna have to go through that again, even if it's gonna throw my book back up because it's like one that you put on the coffee table thing. But it has the whole script in there and everything. It's like, okay,
nice.
God, yeah, I don't know how I think I found it in like a half-priced book. So
I want to actually know if he had a sled named Rosebud. That's what I would like to know if William Randolph Hearst did.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yep.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I don't know. Yep.
So we'll get back here to Miss Word Salad. Oh boy, that is a face that could probably, and I'm talking about the look, not just her looks, but the look that she's giving. That could stop a clock right there.
It's a face made for radio.
Oh yeah. So well, I can't say. Me too.
There's a reason I don't show my face.
Hey, we have an emergency announcement.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is it coming up? There we go.
Snap.
The captain himself, Captain Mike, his new PC has arrived. Woohoo! See,
we gotta hurry up and say all the bad things we can before he can come there and stop us.
Yeah, there we go. Well, you know what's going to happen. He's going to come back and watch it anyways because you know how he is. He wants to make sure. But I'm still waiting for. I'm getting the same computer as he's getting, so I just got my monitors today, so I'm having fun with that. So let's go back to Miss Stenberg as she speaks about more of this. Oh God!
Look, and if people like this woman in Defender, more power to you. But it would be very hard.
No
for
power
to
you
anybody.
None, because
some people like this woman, so unfortunately. But
the powers that be, that they have in Star Wars right now. As we've sat back and said, it's not just Kathleen Kennedy, even though I'm sure she brought this lady on board, but it's the people that she's brought in and the people that are more than happy to tongue her bunghole. People like, and I still. Literally. Yeah, like Pablo Hidalgo, and I'm still going to rag on him because he used to be someone who was well respected, knew the lore, and then he turns around and shits on us, literally. So,
but I don't pay attention to that fool much. So.
I don't either. It just still bothers me because I sit down and read some of the old stuff, like the old adventure journals from West End Games and such, and he wrote in there. He wrote great articles. They were great lore building he did, and then he turns around and shats on everybody because he for some reason he loves KK's bunghole. But we'll continue.
And even if people like this woman, like Jason and I have actually done research on her. She does not know as much about the EU as Kathleen Kennedy claims she does. She might have read one book, but we tried to find a lot of information on this, and we didn't find much. So.
Well, and what does the EU have to do? They don't care about the EU. They're going into this is a show that's taking place in that High Republic, man. Which is shit. Which is shit. They're pushing that so hard, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why she wants to what do they say? I forgot the word. It's really those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. It's like, man, look at all these bad people in the industry. It's like, who did you work for again? Can you make that known to the crowd real quick? And
more importantly, what will your legacy be? What will you be known for?
But then I hear there is somebody in our community, I'm not going to say his name, but he feels that she knows a lot about the EU. I remember him talking on a stream about this, and that it seems like he gives her a pass, and I'm like, but dude, look at what she did for Harvey Weinstein. She worked for him. If she didn't want to be a part of this anymore, she said, you're a creep, and I'm leaving. But did she leave? Did she not know probably what was going on? I don't know how she couldn't. Oh, sorry, YouTube. I know I asked questions. I apologize. Not apologize.
And thanks for sharing your private conversation with Master Paul on that. And I want to welcome Jake D, who is giving a big comrade leader Woopah Troopah hello. That must
hello, comrade.
There we go. So let's go back to Little Miss.
It is Woopah Wednesday today.
It is Woopah Wednesday. This is Woopah Wednesday on PirateTalk414. Yeah. I mean, you're getting double. No Mike. We have Woopah, and we took over the ship. So
that's right. Okay. We did.
So our beloved little shithead, director, goes on to say, then she shifted the conversation to Star Wars. One of the things that I just did recently is I bought all of the concept art for Star Wars, for the original Star Wars by that great guy. I've forgotten his name. I just bought that 2-volume book about him. Oh, and Ralph McQuarrie. That's his name. Jesus. So I just recently got his 2-volume set of Star Wars concept art from Ralph McQuarrie. And I'm like, this is insane, she remarked. This guy created Star Wars. Like, really, like, you see the evolution, the idea from what George was trying to express to him to what he puts down on a piece of paper, to what it eventually becomes, to why he makes particular decisions, like why he decides to take things in one direction and not the other. Like, how many times can you say like? Okay.
I know, man. It's cringe. It's
okay.
Bad.
So she's supposed to know Star Wars, and she's just enjoying the experience of Ralph McQuarrie. And yeah, she's absolutely right. He shaped the look of what Star Wars was. I mean, you just have to take a look at The Mandalorian. They're taking all sorts of his concepts, putting them there. Did the same thing with Rebels. And I think they even did stuff with the Clone Wars where it took his concept. And let's go right down to it. Jar Jar Abrams took his X-Wing design and used it for the sequel fan fiction. She's right. He did do that, but it's like
you can't call it a fan fiction because there's no one who worked on that are fans.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Abomination. Those Abomination. But I mean, this is someone who's supposed to know about Star Wars, and now she's getting her eyes open to the works of Ralph McQuarrie. And it's not just Star Wars, by the way. You know, he did did concept for Star Trek: The Motion Picture. He did concept for Battlestar Galactica. He was all over the place. And okay, anything else about Miss Dingbat here before we continue on? And yes, I called you a dingbat. Oh, looks like she's got a Padme Amidala type. Is that person the actual costume that they're using for the show?
Maybe, I don't know.
Then she's stealing. Yeah, then like
I'm just really not interested in the Acolyte at all.
No, I'm not either. The concept of religion is such a really oppressive. Oh God. Then she's missing part of what Star Wars is about.
Wow.
Headland, yeah, she. Oh, you're such an ignorant buffoon. Headland then asserts, this is like what we understand to be Star Wars. The idea that that only came from George Lucas, that only George Lucas holds the key for what we understand to be Star Wars, is just untrue. And I think the prequels are an excellent example of that.
So I even know that this is total crap.
Yeah,
and I just lost my 2 brain cells. So what does that say about her?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I know Mike, Cash, and I have talked about it. All the people that were involved, how we give a lot of credit to his former wife, was it Marsha or Mark? I can't remember how that's
Martha?
pronounced.
Was it Martha?
Marsha?
But I think it was
Martha?
Martian.
Yeah. And then, of course, needless to say, Gary Kurtz. These people, especially for the first two films, really helped, try to keep Lucas on the ground. We know all the people.
All the criticisms I hear about like the prequels is always like, well, in the original trilogy, George had a lot of people who were, reining his ideas in the prequels. He kind of got rid of all those people and replaced a lot of people who are like, oh yes, George, of course, George.
Right.
So it's like this is a very commonly talked about thing.
Mhm.
It's like the fact that like, oh yeah, everyone says only George does. No, they don't. Like,
and we're quick to also point out, those that know, that you started to see that downfall with Return of the Jedi because Gary Kurtz basically walked off because Lucas wouldn't listen to him. Lucas wanted that. Basically, as he sat back and said, "You want to make money off the teddy bears." Basically, is what he was saying. And you hear some of the concept they had for Return of the Jedi originally. It's like, my God, this would have been a far better film. You would have seen Coruscant in that film, and Endor would have been the moon around Coruscant. That's why it's the forest moon. But yeah, that's where Lucas started falling down, was on that one. And as people sat back and said, even though Marquand, or how you pronounce his name, Richard Marquand, even though he was a director, everyone was sitting back saying, really, it was George doing it, and he was kind of being a puppet for George and all that. So let's continue on. But you look at McQuarrie's work, and you realize what an incredible mark this man has made on culture via this one role he played in this film, she continued. And the idea that, like, when you're hiring a director, that everyone is sitting there waiting for George Lucas and not for the person who's going down to hire Ralph McQuarrie. That's the problem. That's the misogyny and the problem with the Ultima myth as it stands today. Okay, what the hell did she see there?
Hold on.
What?
I don't want to assume, but what gender is Ralph McQuarrie?
I'm sure he had a dingling. So, but today they don't know what that is. But yeah, Ralph McQuarrie was a gentleman.
Yeah. So this is, everyone's waiting for George Lucas, a man, and they're not looking for Ralph McQuarrie, a man. That's the misogyny right there. What?
Right.
Misogyny is when a man gets preferential treatment over another man. That's weird.
Well, yeah, exactly. Especially when misogyny is basically, they believe a woman is lower and can be bossed around and be treated like crap. And that's not the case here. And the thing is people did clamor for Ralph McQuarrie. They knew his work. But this dingbat also doesn't realize there's a guy by the name of Joe Johnson who added a lot of things in there. His design for where the AT-AT was originally a wheeled machine that became the Juggernaut. Some of the Stormtrooper designs that they had for the Arctic, not Stormtrooper, but Clone Troopers, were inspired off of his artwork too. Johnson added a lot of stuff as well as McQuarrie. Both men are geniuses, and both men, obviously, were employed by others. People know, except this dingbat. Oh, Cash, by the way, went off to count some doubloons. So, is there anything else you wanted to say before I go on, Mr. Woopah?
No, that was all I wanted to bring up. I was like,
Okay.
wait a second. This is feels very odd calling misogyny when everyone in this story so far has been a man.
Right, and exactly, and I noticed that right off the bat too. But you beat me to it, which is good. I don't want to be the only one talking. I also want to say hi to Zombie Box Reviews. Good evening.
Hello.
Thank you for showing up for the show. Okay.
Bark.
Yeah, I think the missus is home. So there might be a little bit of barking here, but I have to keep on reading the story. We have to persevere even with the barking in the background. Because they are not thinking this person that will hire the right people. And this is the person that will be able to create the books and direct people to get them to that place. They're just thinking, do you have all the answers? And the truth is that nobody does. And anybody that says they do is lying. What the hell is that? Honestly, what the hell did you just say?
I couldn't tell you.
This ding-a-ling is a moron.
Well,
this is the state of Star Wars.
I can't say this on YouTube.com.
Okay. We can talk about it after the show. Yeah, but I think you're kind of in this. I think I got the same mindset as you got there, Woopah.
Mm-hmm.
Headland would rather state whether it's an editor like Thelma or Marsha Lewis, who is given tons of credit, whether it's an editor or production. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. She's given tons of praise by the Star Wars community. A lot of people sit back and say we're the ones that are saying that she saved Star Wars, and she's sitting back. No, settle down.
Right. No, this is a thing, and I think it's a very normie take on all of this. And I'm not saying that, I don't mind normies. There was a long time where I didn't know who Marsha Lucas was or all these extra people.
Right.
But it's the point is, if you're saying that as like a person who's never like tried, like you basically she probably just looked them up as in preparation for this. Mm-hmm. And other people where it's like, hey, I've gone into spaces, and when you go into these experienced Star Wars fans, people who've been around it, they talk about these names all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's dig into another one. Leigh Brackett. She was the one that put the first foundations down for Empire Strikes Back. Unfortunately, she died of cancer before she could follow through, and it went to Lawrence Kasdan. But, here you had a woman who laid down the first foundations for Empire. Yes, a lot of it was rejected out, but a lot stayed in. You know what? Dingbat, we know this stuff even better than you do. And, and the reason why we're getting down with the normie is like, this is a normie who thinks she knows more than us about this product. She's an arrogant moron.
And that's the one thing that always bothers me, because it's something that I feel like, and people might disagree with me on this, but I feel like there's not everyone who works on a property needs to know the property, right?
Right.
If long as they come in and they say, hey, I'm interested in learning more. I'm interested in, finding out about this property and, making something that's truly Star Wars,
Right.
But everyone, I feel like, and this is not just a Star Wars thing, it's like, comic books, especially, or anything with superheroes. It's like, I've been a fan forever. It's like, and then you see that, you hear what they're saying, and it's like, that's not true. Or like, what you're saying makes no sense. And people who have a cursory knowledge, I don't know if that's the right term, but everyone wants to act like, I know all this stuff. I know I'm an authority. So like, just say you don't know what you're talking about. I don't think people are gonna be that mad.
Well, I mean, let's go cross-platform to another sci-fi franchise, and that's Star Trek. And when George,
never heard of that. Is that good?
That's fair. It's okay. But when the Paramount got disappointed in Gene Roddenberry with Star Trek: The Motion Picture, they handed it off to the Star Trek off to the television division, and Harv Bennett came on board. Harv Bennett didn't know a damn thing about Star Trek, and he's been criticized by people left and right. But the first thing that he did when he got this was to watch every episode of Star Trek, every one of them, to get an idea what this is about. And then he came across Space Seed with Mikato Montalban, thought this would be a great thing to follow through with another movie. And Nick Myers himself didn't know much about Star Trek, and he had to bring himself up. And lo and behold, you got Star Trek 2, which is considered one of, if not the best, Star Trek movies. Because why? They educated themselves. And we have Old Man in the chat. Welcome on board, Old Man. No, Mike did not walk the plank. We just put him in the dinghy of the blue screen, and he just sailed, tied alongside, and we're deciding whether we should cut the rope or not. So okay, so we're okay. I took care of that brain cell numbing BS, and it's almost coming to a point where we can just come to an end because. But I'll just go on a little bit further and see how much laughs and shits and giggles we can get. Ironically, Headland's examples make absolutely no sense given Lucas hired Macquarie to help pitch Star Wars to Fox. Exactly. That's what his paintings was for, to give an image to his words. In an interview from the Lucas Vault, Macquarie detailed, George Lucas talked about Star Wars, and he didn't have a title yet, but the concept for a film that was going to be a big galactic war. And then, when he started to talk to Fox, it seemed to him a good idea to have some illustrations to show the scope of the visuals that he planned, which I think in George's mind was a big part of the movie. And I told him that I'd love to do it. If she was reading Mr. Macquarie, she would have known this.
But she probably just figured out Macquarie's name 2 hours before she said this.
Yeah. I mean, she probably never unwrapped the book and look at it yet. She has in the bookshelf going, look, I have the book. I know something. Now we're going to get into some other names here that we were already talking about. Macquarie continued. He and Gary Kurtz came over one day with the script, and I started on it the same day, I think. I really got into it right away, working on those original paintings that were really done to sell the film. George and Gary went off, left me to do more paintings. Fox wanted me to do more paintings. Gary and George went to England and started scouting this whole thing from a budget point of view. Came back 3 or 4 weeks later saying, looks like they're going to do this film. And you know what? Another person that we haven't brought up I just had the name, but I'll think of it later. But he was the one that basically gave us some of the designs for the TIE fighters and X-Wings that Ralph Macquarie helped flesh out. Macquarie then shared, now notice these quotes between Macquarie and Dingbat. Really, honestly. Who has better command of the English language? I know I have problems, but I mean, really.
You're doing pretty well. You're okay.
Okay.
Just keep going.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my IQ 72 best, sir. Macquarie shared. I never really thought it would be a film while I was working on those original paintings. It seems so vast a project to me. There was quite a few things set up by George, and I felt I was drawing on what he wanted things to look like. I don't think that either of us thought that the way the movie was going to look necessarily, but these were just sketches that were the best we could do in the terms of how we felt it should look, but not necessarily the end product in the sense that this was really going to be it. But it's sort of turned out to be in the end. For the most part, some of those paintings were virtually rendered intact onto the screen in Star Wars for certain scenes, he concluded. So we already got that. I don't know if we want to continue on, but we already got the idea where Miss Dingbat's going and how we're seeing the counterings from voices from the dead, Ralph Macquarie is writing, and other people, and especially us. Is there anything else people want to talk about on this, you two? Or even in the chat before we go on, because this is
we got a question from Dempsey. I think is
Mr. Dempsey. What do we got? Thank you. Oh, let's take a look here. Would you rather get a colonoscopy or watch the new Star Trek content featuring that character made out of rock? I've had a colonoscopy, and I'd rather have that.
Yeah,
I got some good drugs for that, man.
Right. That's positive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, holy cow, the special effects, man.
that rock will always be the star of Star Wars. You guys just don't understand.
Yeah, Geode is the greatest. He
Really is. Yeah.
Oh God, how? Yeah, and the thing is she's doing the show in that era. Does that mean we're going to see? Hey, I know The Rock can play Geode. How's that sound?
It's amazing. Go with it.
I like it.
Or John Cena. John Cena can play.
John Cena. Yeah, but it's more apt for Rock. You know, he goes by the name Rock, and it's a Rock in the Geode.
Oh boy, yes.
Yeah. Well, but hey, I'm trying here, folks. I'm trying. Work with me. We have Bounding into Comics again, and this is an article. New report shows The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. I'm having a hard time talking today. I know how to say it. I just can't say it. Will inject feminism into Tolkien's classic tale of Helm's Hammerhand. John is John F. Trent, and is dated yesterday, the 13th. Are we ready, kids? Get your floaties.
Your floaties.
There we go. A new report coming out of the 2023 Annecy International Animation Film Festival shows that the upcoming The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim animated film will inject feminism into Tolkien's classic tale of Helm's Hammerhand. Just shoot me now, as Hank Hill would say. The Lord of the Rings was announced back in June 2021 with Warner Brothers Animation president Sam Register explaining this will be yet another epic portrayal of J.R.R. Tolkien's world that has never been told before. Maybe there's a reason why. We're honored to partner with much of the incredible talent behind both the film trilogies along with new creative luminaries to tell this story. Okay.
Do we have any new creatives? I think they're just new borrowers.
There we go. You have to be creative about borrowing, and not even creative about that. As we were talking about earlier, yeah. At the time of the announcement was revealed, the film would tell the untold story behind the fortress of Helm's Deep, delving into the life and blood-soaked times of Hammerhand. Tolkien provided a short story about Helm Hammerhand, an Appendix A of The Lord of the Rings, with a war erupting over one of Helm's Hammerhand's lord's name, Frisha, demanding Helm marry his daughter to Frisha's son, Wolf, during a council meeting. Following the meeting, Helm confronts Frisha and fells him with one punch. Hammerhand then declares Frisha and his men enemies of the Rohan. See, we have delved into this. Right here, there shows that it's in the book, in the appendix. Read. And while we're at it, since we're doing such big names that are kind of, Nordic and wolfish, we have with us Frostfang 7.
Hello, Frostfang.
Hopefully a more friendly dragon than Smaug.
Ooh, he's a nasty one.
Yeah. A couple of years after this confrontation, Rohan is besieged by 3 fleets of corsairs up and down its coast. Frisha's son, Wolf, has allied himself with the Dunlinderings and is, you know what, I read the stuff, I just never say it, so please forgive me, and is leading an army from the east that will also include enemies of Gondor that landed in the mouths of the Lifnuan, Nyan, and Isen. Helm rides out to meet Wolf's forces, but is beaten. However, he is not defeated as he flees to the Hornburg, which would later become known as Helm's Deep. Wolf would then have his forces lay siege to the great fortress. However, he would defeat Helm's son, Halith, while he defended the doors of the Middleson of Edoras. I read the stuff. I just have a hard time saying it. While the Hornburg was besieged by the long winter, sit in the covering of Rohan with a snow for 5 months. Now, basically, all this is going. If you want to know about it, if you have Lord of the Rings, Appendix 8, go to it. But the thing is we, as he's basically countering what they're saying, we already have the story. It's already there. Let's see if we can go to. Okay, so now we're getting to more of the crux. It appears some significant liberties will be taken in the upcoming animated adaptation, according to Slash Film, who attended the film's presentation at the 2023 Annecy International Animation Film Festival. Much of the story will focus on Helm Hammerhand's unnamed daughter. In the film, she has been given the name Hedda, and Slash Film claims she is the protagonist of the War of the Rohirrim. Producer Philip Boyens explained the decision to make her the. Oh God, you know better. You were involved with the trilogy. You know better. It explains the division. Everyone else dies. And before you start complaining, this is already in the text. We know. And also the story takes place centuries before the movies. Yes, we know. Not only is Hedda the protagonist, but according to Slash Film, the character is based off of Athelfeld, a lady of the Americans, the daughter of the Wessex king, Alfred the Great. Well, that's great. Athelfred was married to Athelrod after Alfred was victorious in the Battle of Edington in order to cement a strategic alliance with Mercia. Athelred was the lord of the Mercians. The two rulers would support and fortify a number of towns to ward off Viking attacks, and were also heavily supportive of the Catholic monastery community under their purview. Yeah, because they got the money. So, again, she's sent back and trying to use this story here to continue on. Not only is the character inspired by Athelfeld, but the film's director reportedly described her as a tomboyish, a young woman who's wild and vulnerable, and a character arc that sees her grow in a time of war, because you can't really have a Middle-earth story without war. Anything, gentlemen, before I continue on? Or should I just pull the plug on this? Because
I don't know. We have to find out about her strategic alliance with.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
One of the things the film does get correctly is the war over Frisha wanting Wolf to be married to Helm's daughter. The outlet reports, according to Boyens, both men think with their muscles, and Frisha's proposal of marrying his son to Helm's daughter is the inciting incident that begins the titled war. Yeah, we know. Aside from having the film focus on Hammerland's daughter rather than Helm's Hammerhand, the film also reportedly features a scene that shows the politics at play in Edoras, with a Lord of Rohan wanting to erase the history of a group of female warriors and banner women to the king, a prelude of things to come.
Oh, no. No. That's terrible.
It's horrible. Yeah, you know what? Frostfang is right. They're putting Karen in there.
Well, also, the whole thing. Oh, we can't have another main character because everyone dies. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure Boromir dies pretty early in the Lord of the Rings, and I don't remember anyone who read the books or watched the movie being like, yeah, I can't even like come to care about that character at all. He just died too early. No one says that.
No. In fact, I always argue that he's probably one of the most complex and interesting characters in the first book. And
it's a shame that it's just a shame that he was Sean Bean. We should have seen it coming. I didn't know.
Hey, he did. I think he did survive in Snowpiercer. So 1 out of the.
Well, you're not sure.
1 out of 13.
I think he did survive, though. Yeah.
Well, I think in the Sharps miniseries that was done, I think he survived through that too.
Okay.
I mean, could be wrong. It always could be worse. Who's the guy who played? I forgot his name in Star Wars because he was that I just forgot everything about the sequel trilogy. Thankfully,
Yeah,
who was or he was in he was in the new Dune as well. I forget his name.
Oh,
Jason Isaac. Jason Isaac.
Was
no, you're talking about the one who played Poe in the.
Yeah. Is that
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
Isaac? Yeah.
No.
Or what's his name? Jason. Or what's his name?
I don't think it's Jason Isaac.
He was also the voice of Spider-Man 2099 in the new
he was in there.
Spider-Verse. Oscar,
like
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. There we go. Thank you. I was there. I was kind of.
You're almost there.
I had Isaac.
Yeah, that right.
Yeah,
he's good. I just remember, like, apparently he's died in a lot of roles, and in Star Wars, he's like, apparently the plan was for him to die, and he's like, please don't kill me off. And now by the end of it, when you saw his reactions to everything, I think he was like, man, I should just let him kill me off.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was the plan, but it was he wasn't the one that asked for it to continue on. It was JJ started seeing that how women were getting kind of over him. It's like, oh, we got to bring him back, and that the horseshit is the way of doing it. I mean, if that guy was really in the Resistance, I would have had him in the brig.
If it's funny too, because if it was only JJ and stuff and it had nothing to do with Rian Johnson, it would have been interesting how it turned out. Unfortunately, we can go over this stuff. Unfortunately, we can go over this stuff until our heads spin, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
So to finish up on this article, it looks like Warner Brothers is pulling a playbook out of Amazon's playbook with the Lord of the Rings.
Great idea.
Oh boy, that was a great. Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to watch it, but then I stopped caring. Yeah.
I wanted to watch it, but then I never wanted to watch it.
People watched it. There's some people even in the community who watched Rings of Power. I just had no desire.
Hey, I won't fault anyone who wanted to watch it. I just might not take their suggestions in the future very seriously.
Yeah, well, same here. I mean, exactly. I mean, I watched all of them. The last two under duress, but I've seen the sequel trilogy, and what I have to say about it is this:
it stinks.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can't have much of an argument for this stuff unless I've actually seen it. So, like, if you watch Ring of Power, it looks horrible, or at least people felt it was, and they also censored the comments. I guess, and then they brought them back, but it just that trailer. And then after things I read, it's like, oh, give it a chance. It's like, do I need to though? It's just I've given other things a chance, including Santa Inc., and I know how that turned out.
Oh, you fool! And Lightyear.
Oh man, Lightyear was bad for a Pixar film. Bad. Oof, that was bad.
Yeah. Before we go on though, look who we have in the chat.
Anonymous.
Well, hello.
Yeah,
even without Mike, he cannot escape.
Yeah,
right. Well, no,
he's on his journey through Hogwarts. Oh my gosh, Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
That was funny how I said that. He's on his journey through Hogwarts to find those lesbian characters, and I wish him luck. I really do.
You should really see how Animos works that wand of his. I mean, they say there's magic in that wand. They say there's magic.
That's right. There's always jokes here on at Pop Talk, so
Nobody gets spared. Nobody. Not even me.
Nope.
And I'm the captain today.
That's right.
And I'm going to be talked to afterwards. We all know that. I don't want that one. We already did that one. I'm trying to find these stories, and oh boy, what am I?
I don't know. It's just there's always like worrisome things, and I understand where people are like, "Oh, try it out, give it a chance," and I'm like, "What if I don't want to? Come on, give it a chance."
Mm-hmm. No, I mean definitely
Well,
not.
it's always the meme that they have. It's a good meme, so I enjoy it. Where it's the guy with his pants off, squatting over a plate,
Yeah.
and it says, "How do you know that it's shit? It's not even out yet."
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some,
And to me, like something that's actually considered crap or shit or whatever, it's just not really functional. It just really goes nowhere. But I don't know, man. That She-Hulk show, I don't know how I can't say that's pretty much trash. Just oof. That's a
Cassius
tough
said,
one to
"I know
swallow.
no word."
I did. I said it a few times.
Yeah, I know. You're branching out.
I am.
You got to start cussing like Woopah Troopah now.
He's always cussing.
God,
Yeah,
I
you know
know.
me.
Mr.
No.
I got a
Bleep.
foul mouth over here.
That's
He
right.
does. Now, I think this one comes from you, Mr. Cash the Bloom. It's
It
from
does.
Cosmic Book News. It's basically Justice League War World trailer teases R-rated DC animated movie, byline by Will Harrigan, and dated the 9th of June. So that's a few days ago. And look, there's bats.
Yep, Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's Superman, and the animation still good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Still
a little
looks
bit
good.
different. It looks a little different, but it doesn't mean it's bad.
Nope.
Let's see it in action, though. But,
right.
Okay. So, Warner Brothers has released a new trailer for the upcoming Justice League War World animated movie that's R-rated and gets released on July 25th. Watch below. We're not going to watch it for many reasons. And there is the cover for that particular piece.
Oh, we're not going to watch it? Okay.
No, of course not. And besides, my computer, it's kind of funky with so far. You've seen how the clips come up. They don't come up. So now we have the important question.
Yeah, gotcha.
What is Cash the Bloom all about? No, I mean, what is Justice League War World about?
Well, Go ahead.
And there were these two people. They really liked each other. And after a night of drink, never mind. Until now, the Justice League has been a loose association of super-powered individuals. But when they are swept away to War World, a place of unending brutal gladiatorial combat, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the others must somehow unite to form an unbeatable resistance, able to lead an entire planet to freedom, teases the video description. Okay, how many problems in that first paragraph have you seen? I'm serious.
Until now, like the first sentence is what threw me off.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like a loose association of superpowered individuals. When does this take place?
Yeah,
like,
but this is quoted, so somebody said this, I guess.
Yeah.
And
this is on the description of the video. This is
wow.
It's like, no, the Justice League were always united. They always work together.
They have their problems. I mean, you watch that one movie where it's like Batman was keeping tabs on. Anyone would be upset about that because you're invading people's privacy. But he looked at it as, and I think it's a good film. It's a good animated DC movie, and they've done more than a handful of these that turned out well. Which their live action could say the same in the last. But
since Nolan.
If it wasn't for Ezra Miller, that film that would have been bad. Thank goodness we had Ezra Miller in there.
Oh gosh, yes. What would we do without that nutcase?
I know. Is it me or does his face look odd? I mean, it looks like
Ezra's?
It looks like a Carmine Infantino drawing. I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be kidding.
I mean, not
I don't know. He's but
okay. Well, I'll continue on here.
All
so the
right,
cast includes Jensen Ackles. I hope I said that right, as Batman, with Darren Criss as Superman and Stana Katic providing the voice of Wonder Woman. Amity provides the voice of the Martian Manhunter. Troy Baker is Jonah Hex. Yeah, we have that. Matt Bomer is Old Man, not you in the chat. Not that old. And, every time I read the story, I always look at it and see Roger C. Carmel because it's just Roger C. and then you have the C. But it's Roger C. Cross as Machete. Brett Dalton as Batlash, Trevor Duvall as Drifter, John DiMaggio, our favorite
DiMaggio, yeah.
DiMaggio, yeah, our favorite robot from Futurama, as he's Lobo, and Robin Akin Downs, who was from Babylon 5, many people would know, as Mongo, with Frank Grillo as Agent Faraday.
I'm surprised they can still have that.
Have
Mongol.
Oh yeah, I know. That is kind of
very, very good, Woopah.
Well, he's right though. I mean,
yes.
Oh my God, we have something problematic here. Rachel Kimsey as Mariah Romanova, David Lodge as Sheriff, Damien O'Hare. Oh, sorry, as Sheriff. I thought that was going to be the name, but as Sheriff, and Damien O'Hare as Demimos, and Teddy Sears as Warlord. The executive producers include Butch Lukic, Batman: The Long Halloween, and Sam Register, along with longtime Batman franchise executive producer Michael Oslan. Jeff Warmaster, Legions of Superheroes, is the director from the script written by Jeremy Adams, Supernatural. Ernie Altbacker, Justice League, Dark Apocalypse War, and Josie Campbell, She-Ra, the Princess of Power. She-Ra. The producers are Jim Krieg and Kimberly S. Morrow, both of them involved in some variation of DC. So, of course, they have the preview here is stating this R. Don't they usually, when they have the R-rated thing, they put the red on there because it's okay? I don't know. They probably
I don't know. That is a little weird, I guess.
Yeah, Green was always saying, yeah, this is anybody can watch, and when they have something that's like R, they go with the red, so oh, this is going to be interesting. Gentlemen, discuss.
Well, I mean, we could find this somewhere, I guess, and maybe watch this on Discord or something. It could be interesting.
I watched the trailer.
Okay.
I didn't know if we don't want to get. We've been talking about strikes. We don't want to get Mike any actual strikes.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. We can just pause it and stuff. But yes,
well,
it is
I just have the problem that
I know.
Until I get my new computer, I'm having the lag.
Yeah, we can pause it. We can also. They seem to be fine with you actually pausing it and just scrolling through it. But
you guys won. Here, I'm going to press the little blue button. There we go.
We can just stop it and just so we don't have to, because I'm sure Mike doesn't want to strike on here, but it's also from a freaking Twitter thing too. It's just it's like with IGN. It's like you're putting this on here. Why can't other people? It's free advertisement.
Right.
YouTube's got to learn that. I know.
That's the thing. Well, that's the thing that always ticks me off is like, what's the if you play part of the movie, I still think it'd be ridiculous for what to do, and it usually would fall under fair use. But still, at least you can be like, oh, well, you're playing the movie. What's the point of a trailer? It's to advertise. So if you're playing it, it's like, how dare you? Like, isn't that not what I'm supposed to do?
Right.
And every one of us pinheads that would air it on there is giving them free advertising.
That's right.
That's where you got that word of mouth. This is the word of mouth, and you're keeping us doing word of mouth.
Yes.
And a lot of the times, not all the time, especially lately, but a lot of the time it's people watching trailers saying, wow, this looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, again, not all the time because, Hollywood doesn't make a lot of great stuff, but
right. And we can go full screen if you want to, and just if you want to do it like a slideshow, if you feel you're worried about it, if you're worried about it to play it. So if you think they're going to strike the channel for some
I'm going to I'm going to do like you said every 10 seconds or so. So
all right. Yeah.
Oh, he's got the red. Oh, he's classic.
Okay, so he's got. Yeah, I did watch this too, actually, Woopah, and we're going to go into different times. So you're going to see Wonder Woman as like a cowgirl, which is actually pretty cool. And this I think this movie has potential.
Okay, well, I'll continue on in here. There she is.
Yep, 3 worlds, of course. So yeah, we're gonna go back in time to the Viking Age and different. Yeah.
Bat Viking.
One salvation. That's supposed to be like Ra's al Ghul or something. I don't know.
Maybe. There we go. Hey, nice wall.
That's right. Nice shadows.
Yeah, nice shadow. Gotta love that. Ooh, Minotaur.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Gina Carano?
I don't know. Finally, huh?
Yeah. That'd be great.
I mean,
Uh,
that's a Jonah Hex, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they're bringing him in there.
It is. I don't. You know, that movie was a disaster. I remember my brother just kept talking about how horrible that film was. Wasn't Megan Fox was in that too? Wasn't she?
I think so. Yeah, wasn't in Brolin?
You get people.
Yeah, I think Josh Brolin was Jonah Hex or something.
Yeah.
You get people to talk bad about a movie with Megan Fox, and you did real bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jonah Hex is kind of a little problematic because he was a Confederate soldier.
Oh, oops. Yeah.
So what do you do about that?
You can't
Well, look at what happened with Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage. I don't even know if I ever want to watch that movie, like all of it. I think I've seen pieces of it, and I go, "What is this?"
Well, you know, it's better than him playing Superman.
Well, and I don't know who. Jonah
I don't
Hex
know
is.
how that's going to turn.
No, I would want to see him playing Superman. That'd at least be funny.
Well, I can tell you. Well, if you guys want a spoiler, never mind. I'll stop. But yeah.
Okay, whatever. Sure, we'll go on here. So we have some black and white film noirish looking thing here.
Yes, which is pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know who that is. I think we're just going to another world and you know, people can do also stuff like She-Ra Prince of Power. Gosh, that animation just looked awful. And I know people have been attacked and YouTubers have been attacked and some YouTubers have been threatened and stuff because there's a lot of crazy people. When you talk about that, it makes people upset. A number of the Shiris, as they're called, I don't know, but that animation just looks lazy. And if that's the kind of animation that they want to keep doing at Cal Arts, I'm very disappointed.
I hate that. So
I don't like it. And so they change things, but just
that are like that, and people are like, "Oh man, I really love this show," and it's like, look, maybe the show's good. I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Right.
It was, it was after my time. It was not my kid's show. It was someone else's.
Right.
I just look at them like, this looks kind of crappy.
Yeah,
this doesn't look like something I would want to watch. This
looks like
something that
exactly. And just
because
right, and just because she worked on that show, that one of the people who worked on that show, who's part of this, doesn't mean that this is going to suck. It's just not something I'm interested in. I mean, Ashley Eckstein did a voice in that She-Ra Princess of Power. So, should we hate her because she did something that we don't like? No, that's just petty.
A job is a job. That's
exactly, it is.
That's true, and there's a lot of people too that they try their best.
Yes, they do.
Into something, or you get something.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Street Fighter movie, for example. That movie's a disaster, but look at how good M. Bison is because Raul Julia was an amazing actor. He made a quality. He was the best thing about that movie, and everything else was forgettable.
My heart crumbled when he died. It's like, oh my God, this guy's great. Why does he have to go?
Yeah, he was. Gosh, was he in his 80s? He might have been younger, actually.
No, he was young. He was like maybe
because that was his last movie. So
50s. It's like he was like 40s, 50s. He was still young.
Yeah.
When he went down. And it's like,
and then they, just adding to that, they did a movie, Rise of the Chung-Li, and Neil McDonough was like the only good thing about that too. And they got a Chung-Li in there who wasn't even Asian. It was just what? It's just what?
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: the only person who could really take over Gomez Adams from John Astin was Raul Julia. You could have asked better.
I think there's so much. Like when you look at Star Wars, Mark Hamill and I'll say Tamara Morrison because I I don't know much that he's been in, but I've always I loved him in the prequels, and his just personality is awesome.
Yes.
It's like
yes,
they did the best that they can. Like there's only so much you can do. They don't write the script, and both of them were publicly saying like, "Yeah, I think this kind of sucks."
He knew the character. He knew the character was not happy with Hollywood with it.
No, but it's a job and it's money, and you need money to live, obviously. So
yeah, and a lot of that,
one of those
especially
things.
with
I don't
those
fault
guys.
him for being in that. I just the Book of Boobaloo was just a mess. You don't do that to
things. It's
Boba
like
Fett.
you are. I mean, I know he's not like the original Boba Fett, but for a lot of people, that's his character. So it's they call up and they say they were going to do this show. It's like, well, I guess I gotta show up.
Yep. So yeah, I guess.
Are you guys waiting for me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
My fault, guys.
It's my wife's fault. The long-suffering Mrs.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, she's
Hello.
It's okay. We'll blame Baron anyways. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll blame Baron anyways.
Yeah, it's always good. Blame me. I'm used to taking the blame.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue on with this preview, eh?
Yeah.
Baron, your room is a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Impressive. Oh, big black screen here.
I guess we don't need any. I don't hear any sound, but it doesn't matter, so it's fine.
Oh, you're not hearing anything?
No.
How about you, Woopah?
I thought you did that on purpose. That's why.
Yeah,
No.
I thought you might be doing that.
No. Have you been hearing anything all along?
No.
Okay, then it's not coming over. So I don't know. Settings might not be right or whatever, but
it's fine.
I hear it.
I don't think it's necessary for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see with the artwork. That's the. Ooh.
So I don't know. There, of course, was the comic that Superman and Wonder Woman get together, but I don't know. Would that work out? Maybe. I was reading some of it. Some people don't like it. It's part of the 52s, and I know people have issues with the 52s.
Actually, they tried
the series.
Tried that even earlier, back in the 80s, where Superman was kind of going, hey, you want to do it? And they say, nah, it's not best.
I don't know. Like Batman and Wonder Woman getting together, I think works well. I know in some of that they did that, but Batman's kind of, how moody he can be.
Yeah, he's a moody asshole.
No, I prefer Wonder Bat, as they say. I also like that they kind of stay distant, so to speak, and never really comes to fruition.
Well, the thing is, Selena Kyle. That's Batman. Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Batman's fixation. Way earlier, Vicky Vale. I mean, that was brilliant bringing Vicky Vale into the Batman '89 film because way back in the beginning they had Vicky Vale and she just kind of disappeared.
Yes. And I feel like it's weird if that Tim Burton film probably didn't happen. I don't know if we would have ever gotten the animated series. I'm not sure about that.
No, you wouldn't have because look how influenced it was. Do you want me to continue on with this, or can we end it because you're not hearing the sound?
Whatever you want to do, man.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll just end it now because we got other stuff to talk about. I think.
Right.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. Cautious as always.
Yeah.
I think my biggest concern, I know I'm usually different from other people because I'm a giant prude over here, but
yeah, you are.
You are.
I am. It's true, but I always get worried when they say like R-rated because there's some things I feel like they're just like, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cuss every other word. We're gonna show a lot of gore for no reason, and then call it a day. This seems like they didn't showcase the gore. I'm sure that I think kind of from what you saw, there's going to be some more brutal deaths than normal, which is fine. but they didn't showcase it, which I'm like, okay, that's nice. Because
Right.
there's some shows that even people are like, oh, it's great, and it's just like, I don't want to see all that. My whole thing is like most gore, unless it's like you can do it well, but a lot of gore is for the shock value. It's to make you go, it's not actually to make you feel like some things in Band of Brothers. I always use that. Band of Brothers has a lot of cursing. Band of Brothers has gore. It's not made to go, it's made to stop you and think, oh crap. Like,
well, it's based on a true story as well.
Right.
So.
Is taking
oh yeah,
actual
absolutely.
accounts, which is,
but it's just I like that better, and also not that I don't want cursing. I just didn't want it. My worry when I see rated R is you're gonna have Superman just like, oh, we gotta fucking beat up this motherfucker, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's not not every character is meant to be like that. I feel like sometimes they want to make it like that, and it's like, it doesn't work.
And my big problem too with it going R-rated is we're going farther and farther away what comic books are about. And how are you supposed to get people who are
that's
younger
big boobs
into it?
Oh.
No, that's why we have Wonder Woman and Power Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. You can push boundaries, but the thing is, like the rated R, it's just like, look at what they've done with Star Trek, and if you like that, that's fine. But once again, I've pointed out at least a few times, I feel like I'm a broken record on this. There's certain things like Star Trek, other stuff where I just feel like now, just like Woopah said, you have this mature content, and all they want to do is see how much sex and the violence doesn't matter usually. It depends on the subject matter. And cursing that's in this project, and you go, this isn't very good writing.
No.
And you guys are you just need to force this in. It's just like, why does, where they're like, oh, well, this is an Amazon production of Lord of the Rings, so we want a lot of sex now. I don't think Rings of Power had that, but it's just, we want it like Game of Thrones. No, they're two different properties.
Yeah.
So.
Well, don't worry. You got season 2 of Ring of Power coming out. I'm sure Lizzle Dwarf will get down.
There's so much. I do think they put like sex and everything, and it's like I don't want this. As I always say, if I wanted to see sex, I know the websites. Like, come on. But
yeah, and there's already things out there that you can gravitate to. I mean, there's Heavy Metal magazine. There's a lot of stuff that's, and there's what it was aimed for the older set. These were never meant for kids.
Yep.
And even when you take a look at The Dark Knight Returns, which really revolutionized a lot of things and was quote unquote a mature content, it's tame considering. It really is.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's very fair, and I think a lot of it too is just like you were saying, is it meant for that? Like, I don't have any problem with anything in Deadpool. That's because that's the whole point of Deadpool.
Right, exactly.
If you start having Superman do some of the things that Deadpool does, you're like, well, hold on a second, that's not right. That was one of I know a lot of people's complaints about Man of Steel. They're like, this is very dark. Superman's not really supposed to be this dark. That's that's a Batman thing, or whatever character. When they start acting, it's maybe not something that you dislike. I am not against cursing by any means. It's just I think there's a lot of people. There was an article that they put out there like a while ago that said like intelligent people tend to curse more. First of all, I don't know if that's true. I think a lot of those studies are kind of crazy, but I think people took that, not that, oh, smart people like to use expletives. They took it as, if I just start shouting the F word all the time, I'll be smarter. So they just added in, and it's like, no, this does not make it more appeling just to hear someone say fuck 2 times per sentence.
Well, yeah, I knew a woman who thought that she thought she was all the bee's knees, intelligent and mental quality, and her cussing is one of the things that helped show was sent back saying that it's like the intelligent people cuss more, and that's not the case. Look at a lot of the writings out there. that people had, where they had the opportunity to put in there. I mean, they don't. They never did. I mean, obviously there are exceptions to rules, but that's why certain things were unique. But really, Superman is a Boy Scout. He's not going to go out there and cuss and swear and all that. You know, he's about as gee whiz as you can get as a superhero. Honestly,
he is. Yes,
and you know, to a certain level, Wonder Woman's kind of pure too. She wouldn't do that either.
But I have to say, though, you know, though I don't know how I feel about that Injustice movie and stuff, because I started watching it, the animated one, and but it's I do feel like, and you just see it like in the original Superman movie, and how like he loves Lois so much, so if she dies, he probably would go a bit mad, or even more than that. Like that makes sense, and that's what they talk about in Injustice, how all this stuff changes with the DC characters, and how the Joker knows about Superman and this and that. They're all the same world basically with DC, so of course you could have Joker meet Superman and this and that and stuff. And you could even have cool crossovers. Obviously they've done crossovers with stuff like Turtles and Power Rangers, you know, in the comics, and I think they even did that on the animated screen. But it's just what would trigger Superman? Well, if Lois is kidnapped, if Lois dies, if Lois was killed, that would definitely trigger him.
Yeah,
and then maybe right, exactly. But they forget about this stuff. It's just like when they are like, "Oh, we want these villains, we want these villains, blah blah blah, to be misunderstood," and I go, "But that doesn't make them very interesting. And why do they have to be? And if they're misunderstood, give us a reason why we're supposed to care. What is more interesting about them than that?" You know?
And they don't have to make these misunderstood villains and make them like tragic, or like you kind of understand. Like, I think that was something that always annoyed me with Thanos. Was like, he's kind of got a good point. It's like, no, he has a terrible point. Like there's so many things. If you collect all the Infinity Stones, you could do so many things besides wipe out half of the population. Right. I can, you have something where it's like you understand where he's coming from, and you see, okay, I see why he might think that. He's not just a guy who's evil for evil's sake, but he's still like, all these people like, oh, I understand what he's saying. It's like, no, it's a terrible, like, this plan is awful. Like, you can have a guy who you understand without being like, oh, maybe he was right. Like, no, he sucks. Like, that's all my whole thing.
All right, so we're moving on to the next article then, Baron.
He jumped off into the dinghy.
He went to the dinghy. Dang it. Well, then, I guess we're talk about Pokemon. No, I'm kidding.
Pokemon time. Let's go. It's too late.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Okay. So Baron is muted. And is Baron back?
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay. We're back.
I had connections issues for some reason.
It's all right.
I don't know why. I don't know. This is really torquing me out. But I do have the next story up, but ready to go here in case anything happens. But yeah, when it comes around the villains, we had backstories for Penguin in the Joker.
Of course,
and
man.
These other people.
Absolutely.
We know where they came from.
Yes.
You had tragedy with Harvey Dent. There was a tragedy there. But the thing is, he was still a bad guy. In many ways, the Joker, if you want to take a look at it, was a tragedy also.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And the Penguin, well, he was basically went the way he was because, his aunt wanted him to always have an umbrella so he wouldn't get sick in the rain.
Yeah.
And he was made fun of and was called a penguin all the time. So,
right. Yeah, and they, and yes, he bit someone's nose in Batman Returns, but it's just it just want to show how devious he is. I mean, now people will say, "Oh, that wasn't necessary," and I'm like, well, I still enjoy that film. So.
I don't know. I did not like the portrayal of the Penguin in there.
Did you not? Oh yeah, we've talked about that, right? That's right. Yeah,
was much more refined than that.
Yeah, you're right.
He wanted to pass himself off as
but he did make a quality Penguin. I do agree
Danny
with
DeVito did.
That Orca.
He had a good look, but him himself has a good look. I don't know if him kind of some of the ways they made him look in the movie was like that's a little weird.
Well, those movies were set. They were dark too. Yeah. So I mean, did Penguin need to bite someone's nose and there was blood? I don't know. But once again, those films were quite dark. They really were. What happened to Catwoman and stuff, like I said, Batman isn't a happy story. Whatever people want to believe it is, they're silly.
Right. Well, exactly. And again, I cannot see Cobblepot biting a person's nose. So I view this as kind of a mirror Penguin, or definitely a different universe Penguin.
Sure.
It's better than whatever the hell he was in the Telltale game. God, I hated that.
That game was all right. I don't know.
It wasn't a bad game. Yeah. I enjoyed a lot of it. Just it was super broken. And B, the portrayal of Penguin was like, this is the worst portrayal of Penguin I've ever seen. And it bothered me every time I see him. Like, what the hell is this?
I'd have to check it out again. It's been a while because I liked what they did with Catwoman.
Well, he's like a tall, skinny man. It's like, what is this?
No, come on. He's a portly guy.
The one in Gotham Knights wasn't bad either, surprisingly.
Oh, no. His portrayal in I don't know how he was in Gotham Knights because I haven't played it. But
yeah,
he was pretty good in like the Arkham games. I enjoyed those, and they made.
Oh, sense. He was really good in the Arkham games. Yeah, those are some.
It was just that Telltale game was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah,
and just a bit out of left field, Alfred Pennyworth. Alfred was actually a chubby guy in the beginning. He was a portly, stout butler.
Yeah.
And then as time went along, he became that tall, thin butler that we know today.
Yeah.
Wow, this is latest. This is Fat Erasure.
I didn't mind Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He's not one of my favorites, but and maybe even that Penguin show will be pretty good. I don't know.
You should find that Batman. I think it was Batman '84.
Okay.
Talk about gritty. Batman and Punisher together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did I watch that before? I might have watched.
I think I might have showed it to you guys, but
yeah.
Watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the next story brought up here because we're starting to get to the ending time of the show, and I think we're going to actually hit all of the stories.
Snap!
Very good.
Take that, Mike. No, we have about.
I'm calling you into my office.
Yeah, I know I'm there. I mean, I got my chair all picked out.
Seriously.
That's true. I mean, we're already going there. We might as well make it worth it, right?
He's getting the wet noodles ready to give us the whipping. So
the wet noodles. Keep your noodle away from me, Mike. No.
Especially Animas, keep your little we know it's got magic. We don't. Yeah, use it. Keep it for Phil. Western critics outraged that upcoming rom-com anime, My Tiny Septi dares to appeal to male audience. Oh my word!
This article is canceled. I just can't take it. I need to go in the corner. It's too much.
I don't know.
The hell you say?
Okay, so this is from Nerdigans. Is that in relation to the Hooligans?
No. The Hooligans. Yes.
Offshoot second channel.
Okay.
Yeah, the offshoot Hooligans.
Okay, this is dated June 12th, 2023. Of course, this is about anime. And a wave of outrage reminiscent of those faced by such previous rom-com series as Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, and Uzkai Chan wants to hang out. Western critics.
It's like Mike is still here. It's crazy.
I know. I'm channeling my inner Mike. I really am. And I've gone through them to the wolves, throw them in the bus. Same thing with Brandon. Sometimes trying to hear him say some of these are hysterical. I love you, Brandon. Honestly, please have me on your show again. Don't do to me like we do the Woopah. Western critics have whipped themselves into a frenzy over the fact that a male audience are a major target audience for the upcoming anime, My Tiny Senpai. Well, you know what? No. It's not Western critics. It's the blue-haired land whales. Let's get it right.
You know, if people come out and they're like, I want to this is the whole thing. Look at She-Hulk, for example. What if they said, we came out and they said, well, we're just doing this, we want just a male audience, or we want just a female audience. And if they're targeting that and they know more males watch that, it's fine. But they also love to twist people's words around too. So.
Right. Well, exactly. But, the thing is the blue-haired land whales, the people that don't watch these things, the ones that go out there and make the biggest deals, and they still won't watch it afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff with, hey, if you're playing a first-person shooter, who's most likely to play that? It's boys,
right,
or men, but the males.
Yeah, boys and older boys. Older, bigger boys that you'll know better. like me, like you.
Yeah, it's not that women can't or don't play, but if you look at the percentage of the player base, I think like 94% of first-person shooter players are men. Right. So it's like when you're advertising, it makes sense to do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, right. Yeah.
Just like if you do when they had those weird Candy Crush commercials, they put the Kardashians in them because they know, hey, who mostly plays Candy Crush? Mostly women. And so let's put this person who's famous with women. Like, it makes sense. It's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for Mike to do his gaming stream on Candy Crush. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, that's going to be amazing. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll tune in.
I would, yeah. Based on the titled manga by female mangaka. Okay. Say so. Some Japanese words I can't.
Mangaka. Yeah, I think you're right.
Mangaka. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So help me through this, gentlemen.
Right.
I'm going to need all the help. Yeah. Well, Woopah, of course, he would be right. He's he's the Woopah Troopah.
I am from Japan, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You are.
I guess. I love how you say "I guess."
I guess. I don't know. I guess whatever. There. So it is set to produce by Love After World Domination Studio Project Number 9. My Tiny Senpai. Is that? Am I saying that right? Senpai?
Yeah, Senpai.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I'll bring this up. Maybe after the show, I'll talk to you about something I've been doing. Follows a story of Takuma Shinatsky. Oh, Shinatsky. I know Shinatsky. And of course, there's a bunch of. I'm assuming these are the actors in Tokyo Revengers. Is a fledgling office worker who finds himself taken under the wing of his senior coworker, Shiori Katase. And again, the actor or whatever in the names various of the projects. Though Shiori claims that her attention to Takuma's development is part of her duties as his senior, the adorable short stack slowly I love this writing in this one. Slowly finds that her work has become and maybe was all along nothing more than an excuse for her to interact with the object of her affections. Mm-hmm. So in other words, yeah. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, the mere fact that the series dared to feature a story that could be classified as a male fantasy was enough to draw the ire of Western critics. Which Western critics? Many of whom took to the social media in the wake of My Tiny Senpai's trailer debut to voice their outrage and let loose their usual brand of misandry, which is the opposite of misogyny. sharing a screen cap of an angry Uskai choking Umano taken from the 26th episode of the original Sailor Moon series. I'm glad DJ Ronnie G is not here. We don't need to have flashbacks to basically accused. You're telling me they're letting Shouju die just so they can pump out more soulless, plotless, bare bones wish fulfillment catered to men with increasingly specific fetishes every season.
What is that? What is that even? Oh my gosh! Look, I don't even watch most of this stuff because I don't really watch anime unless it's Pokemon.
Right.
And I don't even watch that anymore. But catering to men with increasingly specific fetishes. This is a very general thing. It's not like they made up something like super weird, like whatever that one thing was like I reincarnated as a vending machine. Like, this is just like
there was one where it's like I reincarnated as a soda can and stuff, and this woman turned into a soda can. I was just like, this is so crazy. But it's thinking outside of the box. So I give him credit, but yeah, there's some weird anime, not the kind of stuff with tentacles, but there's other weird anime.
Well, that's hentai.
Yes, exactly.
There is a difference.
There's a difference, and
there's definitely a difference. I'm just saying, like, increasingly specific fetishes. What is the fetish here that you're short? That a short woman likes you? I'm pretty sure that's called like normal human male hormones. Like that's the whole thing. It's like women usually like taller men usually like shorter women. So they're like, oh, this is crazy, it's so weird. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just normal people.
I mean, look at all these things where I want if you're under 6 foot, I don't want to talk to you. So it's like talk about fetishes, and let me bring up this 50 Shades of Grey and its sequels.
I wonder if they would be the same one to criticize that like they're criticizing this. I seriously doubt it.
Well, because that's a woman's fetish. It's aimed at women.
And didn't they say that the person making this is a woman?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
So it's like a woman saying, "Hey, I want to make a story about women, about a male fantasy," and they're like, "How dare you?"
Yep. Pretty much.
How dare you, a woman?
We'll have to go to that trailer later and read the comments. I'm sure they're good for a laugh, and we should reply to some too. I think that would be funny.
Mm-hmm. So you can call this good representation for short women with big boobs all you want, but in good faith that people making and watching this do not give a fuck about actual women. They continued. This is entirely made for people who frequent the loli with huge boobs tag on.
Okay,
it's lolly. I think they pronounce it.
Lolly, but her boobs aren't even that big. Like, I mean, I enjoy grabbing them, but they're not like comically huge. And this girl is not even a lolly. She's very clearly an adult.
Well, that's just it. Lolly, isn't that from Lolita? Referencing the forbidden love of a younger underage woman.
Is that what it?
Yes, I think that is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's what I always assumed.
The more you know. We need the clip. We need
I'm working. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what the loli refers to. Let's see if this works.
I know it has to do with
oh boy, I'll go.
There's a whole.
Up. I'm worried.
No, there's a whole. I guess that might be where it comes from. I know it comes from basically like, there's a whole thing with people are weird about anime. I don't know, because there's the whole thing about, little girl, and then they're like, oh no, but she's actually 3,000 years old.
Yep.
According also the people that are like, oh, how could you like this animated character that's 16 that happens to have massive boobs and is wearing skimpy clothing all the time? How dare you?
How dare you?
That it's a fictional character that was clearly made to be sexual. How dare you?
How dare you?
Yep. So it's a young or young-looking girl character in Japanese anime and manga. Subjects of the lolicon genre. what the fuck that means. Lolly may also refer to people. Surname Peter Lolly. What the fuck?
Okay,
okay, so just, like you said, it's a young, right? It's a young or young-looking girl character in Japanese anime. That's all it is. Okay, too.
Yeah, and excuse me, Western Critic, you and so far we only see one person with their outrage, this Karen. And again, we're talking about different cultures. The age of consent and how they view women is different in Japan. The age of consent is lower, which comes problematic when stuff comes over to the United States.
Yeah, you should never change anybody's vision, as I've always said. It's just it just things go bad when you do that. It's not people get irritated for good reason.
Well, if you want to start whitewashing the culture, and that's what they're doing is whitewashing the culture. I don't like it. I'm going to Americanize it, or put my American values to that. Yeah, you're a separate country, your own nation, Japan. But I'm going to Americanize you. How dare you? How dare you?
And they act like these people don't exist in real life. Like there's no such thing as short women over 18. Doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a myth.
We call those women spinners. I mean, my first wife was 5'2". I mean, if that's not short, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
it's short.
And I've known many adult women that were in the, even kind of going into the 4-foot category.
Yeah, I dated a girl who was like half an inch taller than legal small person status. Not to offend anyone. I don't know. I don't want to use the wrong language, but
short people got no reason. Short people. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, and also, take a look at Japan. A lot of the women there and men are short.
Yes, they're short.
Of course, it's going to be short women. Because it's from Japan. It's what they know is part of their culture.
Yes.
So you're going to go and Karen-splain how this, how horrible this is.
Oh, of course.
And really, the girl, I've only seen this from this article, but the woman does not look particularly young looking. They don't look comically proportioned. Like, you look very normal. Why they're like, oh my goodness.
Even when this stuff comes out, She-Hulk, other stuff that we just roll our eyes, we don't go, how dare you do this? Shame on you. Like, unless it's something they, insult or something, then it's like,
Or we point out the hypocrisy.
Right. But we're not going to cancel anybody's vision, but a lot of these people, which are drones from the media, whatever, they want this stuff canceled. How could you do this? This is outrageous.
This is outrageous. It's unfair.
It's unfair.
Right. Exactly. And let's just, by the way, also, when it comes over there, you have a lot of the anime where it's centered for the woman and her, basically, flip the roles around. And it's, again, that, if you want to use the word fetish, but, anime is a broad thing. And they're just pointing out one little thing saying this is bad, but to have the female version that's okay. Excuse me, that's horseshit. So let's listen more to what Karen has to say here, because so far it's only one person that's outraged here. Also, I know that pretty much every anime is a wish fulfillment to some degree. Okay, dingbat. That phrase right there. She's wrapping all of anime under one thing.
Yes, she is.
I mean, Pokemon is anime.
Yes, it is.
Is it that way?
No,
I don't think
the women
really
don't.
Wish for...
The teenagers, I guess you'd call them teenagers. Woopah, the teenage girl. I can't think of her name now.
Misty.
Is it Misty? Okay.
I mean, I think that's what you're talking about.
I think Misty, the one with the suspenders, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
she was very hot.
Yeah, no.
child
Woopah,
Woopah was like, oh no.
Child
But no, a
Woopah
lot
went
of
through
that.
puberty with that.
Yeah. I before puberty, I was like, I like that.
Well, it kicked you into puberty.
But she's
Yeah.
not some idiotic character that I've seen, and she likes to help Ash. I don't know if there's some kind of love interest with them. Or
No,
not,
there's
but I don't
like
think so. I think they're just supposed to
occasional.
be friends. Oh, okay.
They're pretty much only friends. I don't think Brock ever really hit on her. I think there was some times where, and it was always played for comic relief. It was like,
of course,
Misty would say something about, oh, something, beautiful girl here, and Ash would be like, okay, where is she? And then she'd get mad about it. Of course, stuff like that.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, you had that. Brock was always fawning over every girl. He didn't get them ever. There's no wish fulfillment there,
man.
Except for the wish fulfillment to beat the crap out of some other people's
It's-
animals with my animal.
Right. It's just
Michael
like if you
Vick
watch
wish fulfillment, I guess.
Oh man. Wow. Well, he did his time. I will say he did his time in jail. So.
No, I don't hate.
I don't know if he should
Mike
ever own
Vick.
pets, but
no, he did a bad thing,
after
but
what
he
happened,
served his time. He said
did
he's
serve his
sorry.
time, yes.
That's better than you can say about 99% of athletes. But anyway,
it is. A lot
I'm trying to
of
picture
them,
Mike Vick with a Pokeball.
We need to get someone who's really good. I have some Photoshop skills. I don't know if I have that good Photoshop skills. I need to figure it out.
Maybe I should see about Fit for Hire. Maybe I can.
These Nimrods usually it's always the same. It's but we'll focus here on anime since this article's about anime.
Right.
They think always that this person is something. I've seen everything from Tenchi Muyo, those women were trying to molest that kid or whatever. They were trying to sexually harass him. And I says, have you guys actually watched? It's supposed to be for comedy relief. And if you actually understand that they really care about him and they don't want something bad to happen to him. Yes, they like him. That was the, Tenchi Muyo.
That was...
SV. No, that's not the M something. I can't think of the whole title now.
That was the whole thing. I always got mad, and this is kind of different, but similar. I'll try not to derail too much, but that was the thing where it's like, people today are mad about these drag representations for kids, but they weren't mad at this, and they show all these things. It's like all of these scenes were played as comic relief. Like the fact that they were in this outfit was absurd. And was clearly a joke.
Right.
This is
No, it was
very different.
Even
than what
even
doing
in
now.
What was that one? Only God Knows. I can't remember the whole title. And that guy cross dresses and stuff. He's trying to find himself, but it's funny, and he's also like straight too. And it's just this stuff is just funny. But he starts feeling he wants to be more like a woman. It reminds me of Marco in Star versus the Forces of Evil, where Marco is first he infiltrates in the castle, the all-girls school as a girl. And then he realizes in this magical world with Star, he likes being a female. Yet he is completely straight. It's really crazy. But once again, they just develop the character. That's when
because that was one of the things.
Had more people. Right, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the things that they were talking about. It's like, look at this thing in Milan. It's like, you mean the thing where they clearly dressed as women to sneak by the guards, and the whole line from the guards was their concubines, ugly concubines.
And see,
it's joke. It's not drag show.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, look at what it says in balance of it being more targeted at loser guys compared to loser girls. Like, what? It's just they have to throw out insult all the time. Then they will usually start, you go, I don't like this character, and it's a female character. Well, you just don't like women, so you're a bigot or you're a misogynist.
You just gotta say correct.
You just want to shut down my conversation.
Right.
And it's just so funny to me. And unfortunately, a lot of that is happening. People say certain words to people, shuts down their conversation because they don't want to deal with it. But you got to fight. Right. And that's fine too. But
more importantly, you start getting into the realm where you can't argue with them because you're using logic and reason. And as the old joke goes, you can play chess with the pigeon, but all the pigeon's going to do is knock all the pieces down, crap on the board, and then claim victory.
I like that. I haven't heard that one before. That's a good.
I actually haven't. That's pretty good.
I like that, man. That should be on a shirt. Yeah.
You know what? It should be. Yeah.
It should.
Hey, Mike. There we go. PirateTalk414 shirt idea for you when we get
Let's
going.
go.
Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah.
There's so much that. Yeah, they. Especially when they get, you say, I don't like this character because of this, and then you say, well, you're just XYZ, and they get you arguing that you're not that instead of arguing about the film. They can
Yeah,
exactly. Just what you do is throw them off and say, yeah, so you're making it sound like a bad thing.
Yeah.
That throws them off.
And that's why we blame Paul for everything. Oh, hey, the Star Wars guys.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Paul?
Hello.
Hey, of course I did see, but I got it on my shelf right behind me, so I have Mount Trekmore.
Very cool.
Yeah, I know. And Paul said I could paint if I want to. He's like, hell no, that looks great the way it is. Looks nice and stoned. Kirk looks stoned. So we're going to go to another Karen here after this one, who obviously, just reading what she's written, knows nothing about anime.
Right.
Knows nothing about it. So, likewise, whatever, bleated. I like that. Bleated. You know, a romance is targeted at men when the girls have most distinct personality traits is being short, stubborn, with a short temper, and having boobs. Hey, guys like boobs.
Look, have you... did you guys ever think that we would get to a time in society where people are afraid of seeing boobs on screen in real life? It's like, like it scares them. It seems like it's just, I've never seen anything like it. I really have. I never thought we'd get to this point in society where people are intimidated by boobs and scared and about this. And
I'm not.
I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Dive right on in. And I want to thank, but welcome Jess Parks. Welcome, Jess Parks.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. But there, again, I bet you this is somebody who's never had a date and is pissed off.
I don't know. It could just be a woman too. I don't know.
Well, no,
that's what I mean. It's like typical joyless woman. There,
maybe she's had too many dates. You know what I mean? Now she's like, why can't I find a good man? It's like, right, because when you check him out, there's a library. There's a library card, and you got all this timestamps. They had to they filled it all up. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So of course, basically, can you imagine if we were talking like this about women?
Yeah, I know.
We'd be calling all the names in the book.
Yes.
Right. Okay, we're going to continue with this, Karen. I'm sorry, but then cry. Whatever. You all can totally enjoy it, and that's cool. They added.
Okay.
But it's so obviously targeted at men because I can assure you, most women don't want to watch this type of stuff. You got it. In your stupidity, you got it.
But there might be other women who do. She wants to speak for all women.
Right.
I'm curious to see if there's women who came out and replied to her and said, no, that's not actually true, but you can believe what you want.
Well, I was just going to follow through. There's women that like this stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's men that don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Plenty of people who, if there's some, like, they don't like any of this romance stuff. They're like,
right.
No, it's a rom-com. Since when is rom-com specifically for women?
Exactly.
And that's just it. Rom-com is...
Why can't it be for everybody? I want to know if this person is offended by stuff like Pretty Woman. That's what I'd like to know. Does that offend her? we need to find her on Twitter, Baron, and be like, does Pretty Woman offend you? You know what? Maybe we don't want to waste our time, but...
No, it doesn't. But you realize that Julia Roberts' character is pretty dumb because what he offered her for the week was far less than what she would have been done if she was on the street.
But she is still an interesting character, and the way that the romance connects is very well written and stuff. I can understand.
I'm just being silly on that part, but I know. As that goes, I mean, you'd think a woman would be more offended by this one, but they're the ones that clamor towards it. It's like you have a prostitute. The woman's a prostitute.
Yes.
I mean, she has a sign that says "open all night" on her bikini line. And and as they say, more than what's than the Lincoln Tunnel has gone through there. But
yep.
And now you're going, oh, she's so great. You would think that this would be something that one would be offended about, but they clamor for it.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine.
But they build the characters, and you find out why you like both of them,
right?
In that, because it's important,
right? That's just it. That's what's important about it. And even in these Japanese rom-com things, there's character development too.
Yeah,
it's silly, but it's supposed to be silly. It's a comedy. Let's continue on what we have here. So
we got some more from somebody else, of course.
From dismissing the series' entire premise, just because it features a smaller woman, Cold Flames 96, almost a 69. Cool. Asserted this would probably be cute if it wasn't so clearly meant to be a fetish. Why can't straight men be normal about women for once? Okay.
What? Jesus Christ.
What about women with fetishes? Again, I want a man over 6 foot tall and no shorter than 8 inches. And you see that out there.
Yeah, you see it all the time. It's very common, and I have a problem with people who say that, and they're like, "Why does my weight matter?" But
yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, are you over 6 foot? Yeah. Are you? How much do you weigh? How dare you ask that? Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing, but I don't think it really matters if you have your everyone has their standards.
Right.
I just think it's ridiculous. I guess it's their whole point. They wouldn't have an argument if they didn't strawman, but they keep saying fetish like liking a short woman with big boobs is some like outlandish thing. It'd be like, yeah, not all women have to have the 6 foot, but most women like men who are taller than them. That's very normal.
They did a study on this, Woopah, a number of years ago, and most of the women on the panel only picked the men who were taller than them. There was only like 2 or something that picked the one who was shorter. It's just their type. I remember
it's in our like genetics or whatever, like our mentality.
Yes. There was a guy who told me at the gym before. This was a few years back, Woopah, at least a few years. And he says, "Man, this woman said I would be perfect if I was just taller." I'm like, "Why do you let any woman shoot you down like that, man? That's not cool. Just walk away. That person's ridiculous."
Well, yeah, I mean, you're that stringent on your particulars. I mean, my first wife, she was short and had big bosoms. Hey, I got lucky there. But my type is actually, I really like blondes. My first girlfriend was a blonde, and I like women that have a little bit extra meat on the bones. Right?
I'm shocked.
That is my preference.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
I think my preference is women who are crazy, but I guess some people say that's all of them. So.
He just wants that woman to dress up in the Woopah costume, but she won't do it.
Every time they get scared away at that point of the night.
Man.
That's such good Woopah you're doing. Oh, yeah, keep that Woopah up. Oh, I'm about to Woopah. I'm about to Woopah. I'm about to Woopah.
Oh my gosh, we've got to do if some of us actually meet in person, we got to do a thing where Woopah dresses up as Woopah and he just starts harassing people. We film the crap out of that and put that all over our channels. That'd be funny as hell. I couldn't stop laughing.
I feel like I could try something like that.
I think you could.
I have some ideas, we could
and it's even going to get better here. Some even took a step further and began clamoring that since Shihori is under 5'5", and thanks to the series' anime art style bears a childlike appearance, she is minor coded. Thus, anyone who was attracted to them of being a pedophile.
What a
man! These people really can't stand it when men are attracted to women who are of age. It's crazy.
Holy cow! Yeah.
Also, 5'5". Isn't the average woman like 5'3" or something like that?
Well, 5'5". The current Mrs. Long Suffering Tag is 5'6".
Yeah, so that's a
And
very normal height.
yeah,
Like
and
that's
my one daughter's about 5'5". I think the other one's around that same height. Yeah, that's about average for a woman right now.
yeah. If it was under 5, it would still be ridiculous because women under 5 foot exist. But like that would be like, oh, it is pretty short. 5'5" is pretty
Yeah.
normal. That's just I don't know.
And
I don't know, man.
I want to welcome
Hello.
Raquel.
Hello,
Hey,
Raquel.
Raquel, what's
There
up?
we go. Okay, let's finish up this nonsense here. Short business women exist. We know damn fucking well why y'all actually watching this garbage. Whined, who cares, fangs? I like short women, but I like it when they're not reduced to short acts, childish, would be confused for 11-year-old, but she's got massive breasts, so you know she's not a child.
What about it acts childish? Isn't she a boss? Like I would feel like this is the exact opposite of anything. Like this, if you're talking about short girl, sure, but then like she's your boss, that would be, if anything, be a little bit of the not a child. Yeah, that'd be how do I say it? PC or PG or whatever.
Well, let me say it this way. Let me try for you here. Basically, when somebody is involved with someone that they really are kind of, nuts about, they act kind of childish sometimes. They fumble their words, whatever. I mean, man or a woman, because they're nervous around them. They want to make sure they impress them. They're nervous that they won't like them, and that childish thing comes out.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with being a map or NAMBLA member. No, we all are that way. No matter how you have old people older than me that that act that way when they're around, like an old guy around a pretty woman, or maybe an older woman around a younger man, or even same ages or whatever. If they somebody like there gets to be that you kind of drag your little foot down there as you're looking down, and would you like to go to the movie with me? There's always that little bit that's always in us, especially when we're attracted to somebody.
Mm-hmm. No, it's you're 100% right.
Mm-hmm. And now we come on this one. I love the "you never seen a woman" replies defending this degenerate pedophile bait filth like women insulted. Shinobis, my goat. Just shrink into preteen moralities or something. What? Okay. Yeah, well, again, all they can do is just use buzzwords and not an argument.
It's buzzwords, and it's attacks. You guys, you'll find this. This is why people on Entertainment Weekly can't take people having opinions that are different than them, even in pointing out facts. This is why I think a lot of comment sections are being shut down. But of course, Twitter can be a dumpster fire, and just like a lot of social media. But they just want to attack you when you don't agree with them. And even when you point out facts or you're using logic or like, this is what actually happened, they don't like it. I don't, for whatever reason, it just makes them really angry. But this show makes them upset, which makes me laugh. It's just like with PETA being upset with animal control. And the list goes on and on. It's just funny. But they want to shut this stuff down. That's how they act anyway.
Mm-hmm. There's two things about this whole thing. Just this comment that's already.
I was about to read here, or the one that we already had?
The one we just read.
Okay.
I think so. Is it? I guess I don't. I forget. They're all so similar. But
yeah, they are, aren't they?
But the one where it's like, oh, look at the voice acting. Like, Japanese women just kind of sound like that. Like their voices in general, not like 100% of the time, but in general are much more high pitched.
Yeah.
And like that's just how it is. So they're like, oh, look, it sounds like a girl. It's what goes back to what you were talking about. Is they want to Americanize it and judge it by our standards, which doesn't make sense. But then also just like this is a general thing. So they're saying, oh, all these guys are people who like this are pedos, right? You know, the whole thing that I don't know about you. I haven't ever met someone, a NAMBLA member or anything like that. I don't know. But I have a hard time believing that anyone of that community fantasizes about meeting their target at work. That's all I'm saying. I feel like they'd be a little bit outside of that setting. Just judging by the criteria, I don't think it would make a lot of sense.
Right. I mean, if you listen to a lot of how they speak over there, they like to having that little cute voice, that high pitch, that cute voice, and all that, and dress. I watch. And I was going to say this after the show, but I'll say it right now. One of my little guilty pleasures, if you want to call it that, is they have these walking videos, and they have the guy going through, or these people going through Tokyo and other Japanese cities, and you can see all the different type of people that are part of the society. And you see everything, and the blog Suffering Misses says, boy, there's a lot of them wearing dresses. It's like, well, yeah, you're looking at the time here. This is like after work. And for their culture, it's kind of expected that you wear a dress at work if you're a woman. They want, they expect the women to be feminine. And then you start seeing the other girls in the street, and they're dressed up in the little cat outfit, with the little ears and all that, and doing all sorts of stuff. This is a different culture. They have different rights. And again, they have different ages of consent. But the thing is this isn't even delivering that.
Right.
It is delivering how some women are in Japan. And of course, they're fixated with big breasts because, forgive me for saying it, but Asian women are not known for having big breasts.
That's just true. And the ones that do are treasures, I must say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're almost revered as goddesses. I mean, honestly. But of course, let's take a look at this intellectual writing. Refusing to honestly engage in debate, and that's the problem. They don't want to engage in debate. At Sugar Toe or whatever tweeted, I don't give a fuck if she's fucking 180 years old or something here. She's portrayed as a kid. Look at those damn expressions and voice acting while being sexualized, and it's weird. If you're in the anime and you know so much about the Japanese culture, you wouldn't be seeing this. And it's not that we necessarily like it. It's just we understand that there's a difference.
This is the dumbest thing I've
Right. And I saw this and I go, oh my God. No, oddly attempting to gate down on a body type from being depicted by an entire nation. At Showpints argues, grown women being short are real, but I don't want Japanese depicting us. Personally, I think that's hard. Personally, I think it's hard to believe that they're not trying to cater to that kind of audience when they have a consistent issue with CP, they declare.
They don't even say why that's the case too. Like, and I'm not defending anyone who's done that over there, but Japan has, I believe, recently upped their age of consent. I think it was at 13.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And I think they recently did it because there was someone who was in manga who got busted for having pictures of very young girls.
You're talking about, that was an article. It was either Kotaku or Polygon or something. You're talking about the guy who created Ronin Kenshin. Is that what you're talking about, Woopah?
Maybe. I don't remember exactly. I just remember
he
had some material that at the time of purchase was legal, but he did not get rid of it and continued consuming this content. And eventually, word got back to it. He got in trouble. And it's the type of thing, like, again, I'm not saying, defending it. I'm just saying, well, this is the differences here. And a lot of this, it's not like people are looking out new stuff. It's the fact that this was something that was normal 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and
different
also,
cultures.
yeah, and also, watching the Olympics, and for some reason, curling really, I don't know, drawed me in. I don't know why.
Okay.
I mean, we live in a curling center in town. I could care less, but watching on the Olympic was interesting. But you had Japan versus, I think, South Korea, and the Japanese girls were out there and they were making little sounds that whatever. It's like, oh my god, this sounds like one of those adult films. Whatever. The thing is these are grown women, and there's one thing that Asian women have a blessing about too. They can look young for a lot.
They can, and people might say, "Oh, that's racist or something or whatever." I'm like, no, it isn't. It's a compliment. It's a compliment that yes, as they should be.
They're proud of it. They make point of it. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Whatever it is, you're doing it right. And, please share it with the rest of the world.
Right. I don't know anyone, not just for sexualization purposes. I don't know anyone who would be like, I want to look old. I can tell you what, not getting, I'm 25, not getting carded when I order beer, it gets old pretty quick. You're like, damn.
You're old, Woopah. You're old.
I know. It's like, man, I know. I used to work in the gas station industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
So like, if they look under 35, you gotta card them. And when I don't get carded, I'm like, oh, that's painful.
Woopah's 25 going on 40, folks. Yeah. Okay, so we have anything more to talk about on this sense of stupidity that's out there and trying to warp things?
Do we want to read more comments? Were there different Twitter users besides?
That was it. That was all of them. That was all.
Is that all? Oh yeah, that was all of them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I already lost my 2 brain cells, so I didn't get to lose any more from all these comments.
Yeah, this is the brain cell dying show. I mean, honestly,
it's like, it's funny because it feels like it personally hurts them. Even stuff like She-Hulk, He-Man, the new He-Man show. The animated one,
it's they them. Get it right. It's they them.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, you should be. How dare you?
It's not that this stuff hurts you, and some people are like, yes, it does, and which makes me laugh too. But it's just, I just like, they can make this stuff, but they shouldn't be surprised when it gets criticized. And this kind of show, maybe it's just not for them. So if they're letting a show, any kind of show ruin their life,
for you,
it's chosen for you, right? Mm-hmm. If they let any kind of show, entertainment, ruin their life, or it makes them so upset, then don't watch it. Don't play it. That's it. Yeah. That's all. But they can't do that. They need their voice out there to tell them how stupid these men are for watching this. How dare you? And the list goes on and on. So,
and the list goes on.
I mean, I remember some random person, he erased his tweet, and this is just an example. And he says, well, I think The Last of Us 2 is like the best Naughty Dog ever game. And I said, well, thank you for the laugh. And I noticed he erased his tweet. I don't think I was the reason, but
no,
it just made me
laugh. That was kind of tame from you.
You can take partial credit.
Yeah,
I can take partial credit, yes.
Well, if you're going to go out and make a statement, you better damn well stand behind it.
Seriously,
something
man.
Based on it. You should be able to defend what you have out there.
That's
and yes,
right.
if you are wrong and they come at you with intelligent debate, it's like, you know what, you're right. I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
You can
admit it. It's okay. No.
Well, and you can have a controversial opinion.
Right.
And like if not everyone agrees with it, that's fine.
No.
I know that I would say things, and it's like, I don't know. I can't think of it. I can't reach into my controversial opinion generator.
I
think Woopahs are the weakest of all the Pokemon. There's a comment.
Who'd you say?
I said Woopahs. I think Woopahs are the weakest of the Pokemon.
These are fighting words right here.
I know. Well, see, it's a controversial statement. You wanted one? I gave you one.
Well, that's just a false one. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. No, but yeah, if you can say a controversial, especially on like liking a piece of media. Like, I know there's going to be people who's like, I didn't really like Star Wars. We call those people crazy. But like, it's fair if you're just saying I don't like it. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
but people
when you
are
ask
like,
them
if
why,
you like it, you're bad.
right?
Well,
If
that's
you
very
like
different.
it, you're bad. If you like Rick and Morty, what's wrong with you? That
What is wrong?
show has horrible writing. That show has this. Okay, have you actually watched the show, or do you just want to hate it?
And people who hate Star Wars is either crazy, Jar Jar Abrams, or KK. I mean, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
and as
they're
I will always
either
say,
crazy or they're employed at Lucasfilm.
as I will always say, Jar Jar Abrams did stuff that I've actually enjoyed, including Cloverfield. I think he was involved in that. Yeah, he was a producer on Person of Interest, and that was a really good show. Of course, Jonathan Nolan wrote that, but
I think they said, what is it?
But Star Wars
Someone
and
said
Star
he-
Trek and Lord of the Rings and Turtles, and you go down the line, these are properties that have been around a long time. So why don't you do the best job you can? And if you failed at it, just come out, you know what? I'm really going to do better next time. I was trying some ideas and they didn't work, but they can't say that.
No.
It's always everybody else's fault.
Someone said that J.J. Abrams is having a Benjamin Button career. Where he started off because I guess he started off with Lost, and a lot of people like that. I never watched it.
Alias. I think Alias was his first. Oh no, I'm sorry, Felicity. I think was his first project. Yeah.
But people were like, yeah, he's got this lot of good stuff, and over time, it's like everything he makes just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, people love Felicity. I mean, there was Felicity.
Alias was really good. It was like a James Bond with a female character, but he did such a good job of building her up and her friends, and you cared about these characters. And
I think someone said it was Felicity going James Bond. It was like Felicity, but now that secret agent type of thing.
Then you had Lost, and of course there was stuff that came out about Lost recently. Of course there did, like a number of years ago. I don't know. I wasn't there. I think people are just complaining. Did you get paid? If there were such horrible things, why don't you speak up? Why does it have to be years later? Because you want attention. I'm not saying that things didn't happen. I just go.
It gets a little sus.
Yes.
It gets a little sus after a while.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and especially like nowadays, just because, like, I was afraid to speak up. Why? Like, was there not like a whole giant movement that just happened?
Right.
This has been going on for well over 5 years. It's like I mean,
look
look
at a man like Terry Crews. Now, maybe he wasn't like bulked up like he is now, but he even got sexually harassed. Are we supposed to just say, "Oh, that probably didn't happen because he's a man"? Because there are people say that. Well, that doesn't happen. A woman can't do this to a man. Oh, really? Okay.
Or a man to a man. What about the Corys?
Right, exactly.
Look at the Corys.
Or a woman to a woman. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at what's his name? How did I forget his name?
Well, Harvey
just played in The Whale.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
I didn't even know until recently that man was getting attacked by Hollywood. I thought a lot of Hollywood respected him.
Well, because he has common sense. It's kind of like how it goes. He said something about I know he made a joke about Catwoman at one point. And it's not like he's conservative as far as I know or anything. It's just there's something.
He's just reasonable.
He was a skinny person who depicted a fat person. How dare he?
Right.
Yeah, that. Well,
who depicted, by the way, not just like, oh, he's overweight. He depicted overweight that you're dying overweight.
I just don't understand. What exactly did Brendan Fraser say? He said something about Catwoman, you said?
Oh, I don't know if that's why, but I know people were like, "Oh, that's rude to root on someone's failures." When it was like, it's a funny joke. But it was something like someone made a joke about something not making it out, and he's like, "Oh, Catwoman," and people just started laughing because it was just very casual.
Look at what they've done to James Woods. I don't care if you like his politics or not or whatever. That man is a fantastic actor, but
great actor. And some really weird movies too.
Yes.
Videodrome,
he has a lot of range. His stuff that he did when he played himself in Family Guy was hilarious. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. And I believe he came up with a lot of that stuff on his own.
Yeah.
He really did. And say, hey, Seth, what do you think of this? And Seth probably thought it was hilarious.
He could poke fun at himself. That's what's great.
Seth has changed too. Seth should have never changed. It drives me crazy. I remember when my brother asked him a question a number of years ago at a Star Wars celebration. I think it was like 2008 or something, when things were, people could do what they wanted. That also when Robot Chicken was really cool and stuff. But Robot Chicken got old to me. But anyways, they just kept started recycling the. Yeah, but
the jokes landed for me, but they did have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, they had some really funny stuff, and
their Star Wars was great.
I just remember my brother, like he said something, and he's like, "Man, I thought I was drunk and stuff." Like it was funny, and so Seth was always being fun. I don't care what his politics are, but then once you start going down the road of apologizing, like Hank Azaria did with Apu. Going down the road that Seth MacFarlane's like, I'm not going to make these kind of jokes, then everything changes, and not for the better. This is not what your show was ever. This is not why a lot of fans watch this show. And so if Family Guy is finally dead, then it's dead. Since I think the writer's strike is still going on. I'm pretty sure. I don't know much about it.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Right, exactly.
You get some nice peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's like a government shutdown. I like it.
Yep.
Right. But that was the whole thing where they kept talking about, oh man, what's going to happen if we default on our budget? Like maybe they'll stop stealing my money for a second. That'd be great.
Well, do we have any closing comments on this, gentlemen?
I just think we should go find them on Twitter and mock them. All three of us, dude. Let's go.
Oh yeah,
no, seriously, just mock them. Like you don't like. I don't understand what you're saying. If it upsets you so much, why don't you just not watch it? If this trailer upsets you so much, just don't watch it. I look at a lot of the gaming show, for example, and I'm like, wow, dude, the industry is going to save me a lot of money on games this year. Thank you.
Yeah, we should do. We should just post pictures of real short women and just be like, ooh, scary.
I love it. That is great. That might get us a lot of heat, though, but I appreciate it.
I don't care.
I like it. I love it. Let's do it. We need to also, I think, on Twitter, put out messages of the day, like things that just trigger people. I look at people like that Alex Stein guy that he did to Brittany Griner, and I go, you know what? We could be doing some of that stuff, but it's like, do you guys want the heat? I don't personally care about having the heat. I understand people don't want the heat. I get that. It can be a pain in the ass, but it can be funny as hell too. Especially when people threaten you. It just makes me laugh.
Speaking of threatening us, look at that.
I know.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
there's
dun,
so
dun,
many.
It's the USS
I still don't understand. The last time I heard about Brittany Griner before all this stuff was how she got arrested for abusing her wife. That's like, this is the hero now that we're going for.
Yeah.
But she went to the same college as I did, so that's great.
There you go.
Don't worry, Dempsey. We'll help you get that heat, man. You want that heat, Dempsey? We'll help you, dude. We got you, man. We got you, dude.
With Drunken Poet, come on. We got to get some heat going. That's only begging for heat. Only begging for heat.
I mean, but society has gotten so twisted, Woopah, that they even think Simone Biles quitting on her team in the Olympics, which she did a few times, is considered brave and progressive. And when she calls herself the GOAT, that's not being the GOAT, man. That's not being the GOAT.
And that's the thing. It's like they have to take it, to being brave and like awesome and whatever.
Yes.
Like if they were just like, hey, look, it's a tough, if it's a tough thing and she's going through a lot right now, be like, that's fair. Like, and I don't mind if people are upset about it because, hey, they're kind of costing us big time and they're costing your teammates big time. Yeah. But at the same time, I can understand, hey, there's a lot of nuances to this. Everyone, no matter who you are, gets the yips or whatever and all that stuff. It happens to everyone. But trying to say it's brave is ridiculous.
No.
not brave by getting scared. You don't have to be bad by getting scared, but it doesn't make you brave.
No, it doesn't. But those women, it upsets them so much to see this. Like it personally, I guess they feel like you're saying this is for women, and how dare you? It's like, well, why don't you make something that's targeted at women? Who cares? It's your vision, and I'm not going to fault you for your vision, but you certainly want to attack these other people. You might, yeah.
And of course, you're Woopah. Woopah, Woopah.
I'm just here to cause trouble.
You are. And speaking about causing trouble, Woopah, do you have anything you wish to have? Any programs you want to promote, or anything you want to promote?
By the way, Baron, did we? Were we gonna? I guess we'll make Mike happy. No, it's a good thing actually. But we were gonna talk about the flag, right?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. That'll be a good close up. But first of all, let you guys promote. Let's get the promotions done
okay.
First.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah. I was. I'm doing my channel stuff. My stream broke last night, but hopefully it's back to being better. Internet is always fun. But I stream right now. I'm streaming every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. I'm playing this game called Creeper World. No, it's not a Jeffrey Epstein simulator, but
it's, I was thinking Minecraft, but
that too. Hey, that's definitely one as well. I'll need to incorporate that into future jokes. I'll give you credit, Baron.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, it's this cool game. You're fighting this alien goo. It can't be reasoned with. It can only be held back for a short time. You can get the stuff you need on the planet and jump to the next one. It's a lot of fun. It was an old Flash game. I used to play it a ton in school instead of doing school. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I might do some. I want to play The Witcher at some point. But
The Witcher's amazing, dude. Especially 3. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I have it. I just I've become rather busy lately, so having 2 streams can be tough.
Yeah,
so
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. But so you go to the planet of the blue-haired land whales. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I don't know if I should do this, but cash the bloom.
So what exactly do you do here? No, I'm kidding.
What do I exactly do here? Are you really asking me that question?
So I think
what do I do here?
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yes,
exactly. I love that clip. That movie is so underrated.
It is.
It really is. But yeah, coming up on the Phantom Hooligans. I haven't started my car videos yet. I'm going to do some car videos where I talk about some reviews. And then I'm going to, yes, I agree, Dempsey, but Dr. Cox is a great character. Then going to, I got to start this week after all this refrigerator nonsense is fixed and whatever. I'm going to start so I'm not on call to help out whatever. It's good to help out your family, obviously. But I'm going to finally start this week that bolt gun game. So we'll see how that goes.
Can't wait to
play
see
the
that.
crap out of that thing. That's what's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans. Not the Phantom Hooligans, just Phantom Hooligans.
Phantom Hooligans. Okay. You know what?
Phantom Hooligans.
You know, Woopah, I prank called him the other day. I go, hey, is your refrigerator running? He goes, no. It's like, okay, you just ruined it for me. Thank you.
He didn't do that. That is funny.
Okay, before we continue on, but yeah, thank you for reminding me, though, Cash, on this one. But
yeah, no problem.
So we have the anniversary, of course, of the United States Navy. As well, we have Flag Day coming up here, which is one of the days where you can literally display any of the flags that the United States had out there, whether it's the Betsy Ross flag or the various flags throughout the era of the United States. And of course, it is a symbol of our country. And everything on that flag has a meaning. The red and white, the blue and the stars. Originally, They're going to add a stripe for each state that joined and started getting ridiculous. They go, no, we'll just leave it to the 13 stripes as for the original 13. But everything about that's the symbol of our country, and something we should be proud of. We wave it at the Olympics. It waves over our bases. It waves over our government buildings. I have one out in front of Tagge Cottage here. It's even over our graveyards, the fields of stones, where either where soldiers have fallen or just even average people have those. You see them in front of churches, the flags on churches, everywhere. It is our symbol, just as much as people are prideful of the maple leaf from Canada or the Union Jack from England.
Just like the states and the state flag, we have the bear here in California, and it's like that's our national animal here or whatever.
Because you're a bear.
But bear, yeah.
So and never.
He's unbearable.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Woopah's off the. He's
off the show. He's not going back for a while, though. But we should be prideful of that flag. That flag has a lot of meaning. Does that mean that this country always did the right thing? No. But that is a symbol of all of us together, where we can debate, we can get along, we can love. All that across the board. Yeah, we are 50 different states and a few territories. But the thing is we're all Americans, and we have to remember that. And yes, I do mean that America, because it's the United States of America, this republic that we have. So there's nothing wrong with looking at the flag, being reverent to it, because you're not worshiping it like a god. It's reminding you of who you are and who's around you. And it's about time we start doing that, start reminding ourselves that these people around us are our family, and the flag is family. And if it was things like the United States Navy that helped make sure that flag waves today, whether it was from the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II. We can't forget the Great White Fleet that Theodore Roosevelt sent out to show the world, don't mess with us.
Yeah, and can I just add this also, Baron? Please, you know what? Whatever people want to tell you, don't burn any flags, okay? I don't care if it upsets you or whatever. Don't burn it. And especially don't burn the American flag. It's a beautiful, excuse me. It's a beautiful flag that should never be burned. And if somebody's burning it and you see it, grab that flag. Put that fire out. There's no excuses for that at all.
None. There's only one reason why you would burn the flag, and that's in a solemn ceremony when a flag is being retired, because it's tattered and it's ready to go. And if we do have an old tattered flag, one that basically is no good anymore, bring it down to your American Legion or your VFW. They will dispose of the flag properly and ceremoniously. And which is what they do is you dig a pit, you put the flag in, you burn it. The soldiers are around it, and it's a solemn occasion. And that's the only time that a flag is legitimately allowed to be burned. And again, it's reverence, not hate or spite. So, did I do good on that one, Mike? I hope I did. Mike is a lot better at that stuff than me.
No, we got it, man. We
got it. We got it. Okay. So before we go, I want to, of course, thank everyone who was active in the chat. Of course, Pacific 414 himself in this dinghy as he's getting the U.S.
He does love his dinghy, doesn't he?
He does love it. Oh, yeah.
He does.
He shows us his dinghy all the time, no matter how often we tell him to quit. But he's working on the USS Pacific NCC 414-A. So they'll be going out there for new adventures. We had Jace Fawkes from 540 Studios. He's okay. He's okay, right? Yeah. We have the Padawannabe. We have the Angry Canadian. We had Gamer J Wee. I'm supposing that's Wee. Of course, our favorite troll, Phil McCracken. The sweet and lovely Kathy Skywalker. Death Wish was here, as well as Giggles and Bits. And for some reason, I put down Mike twice on this list. Dempsey, our drunken poet, was here. Jake D. Zombie Box Reviews. The old man was kind enough to join us today, as well as Frostfang7. Anonymous, even though he does get mocked quite a bit with the Anonymous, joined us. He's a very brave man. If you want studying the brave, it's Anonymous. Our favorite Orca swam in from Everest Productions, or as Cash likes to say, Ever Ass Productions. Master Paul of the Star Wars guys came in. Jet Sparks, and the lovely Raquel, SSG2211, was also part of the chat. And of course, I want to sit back and say thank you to those who were listening and did not go in the chat. We appreciate those lurkers as well. And we don't mean lurkers in a bad way. You know, people don't necessarily want to be in the chat for one reason or another, or can't. But you're just as appreciated. So from Pirate Cash the Bloom and everyone's favorite Pokemon, Woopah Troopah, and sitting on the sideline with the Peanut Gal, and sitting on the sideline with the rest of the Peanut Gallery, Mike Pacific himself, working on his new computer. Wish you all thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And let's hope I hit the right exit this time. I did it! I did it!
You did it, man! Yes!
Woo! Oh, like a broken clock is the right mistake. So do you think we can take the show over, Mike?
I think we could do it.
I think so.
I'm sure Mike isn't listening right now, so he won't know.
No, he's working on his computer now. Yeah. Yeah. We don't have to hear him say this. We don't have that. So. Hey, night, everybody.